the green lights are lit, it freaks me out a little bit because I don't know if I'm being filmed or not.
Well, you are being filmed. We're filming you.
But for some reason, I know that because Rob is doing it.
Well, at least we have control of the footage. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this scares me.
If we have like a penis party or something, we can control that.
Do they have audio too or just video?
No, not yet.
But they say not yet. The idea these cameras don't capture audio, though. The audio would come from the board and the microphones.
The soonest they'll record anything is late April. But they will be working, which means that somebody might be able to see what's going on.
Okay.
But they cannot hear anything.
But you could just hit record and then sync it with... I mean, we're recording the audio anyway.
All they're ever going to be able to hear is what's on the radio.
Well, yeah, right. That's what they tell you.
Yeah, they say that.
Just give me your password.
Yeah,
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I'm not going to
share your information.
Yeah, that's the thing. Store your password with me, and it will be private that way. Yeah, no, I mean, look. We already know. All you have to do is hit one button in there, Travis, and you can hear what the mics are picking up when they're off.
Yeah, of course. I hear everything you're going to say about me.
Yeah, so why, and I don't know why you're still here. I mean, we're trying to lay it on pretty thick.
Yeah, we've indicated.
Transitioning.
But so why would we then think that, like, oh, don't worry. Unless you turn the mics on, they won't be able to hear you. That's not true.
Pro Tools records the entire time.
It's recording the whole time. It's not true. It's lies. It's fabrications. Can you tell that the cameras are plugged in?
I mean, the wiring is really, really well done.
Yeah, it's very hidden. There's concealed wires running from the walls to the camera. And when I say concealed, I mean there's just dangling yellow wires coming down from the ceiling now.
If you were taller, you'd have to worry about hanging yourself on your way to your fucking chair.
That's right.
They're hanging out of the ceiling.
When I hooked up cameras in my basement, I looked at the wiring and I said, well, nobody will take this seriously if the wiring's all over the place. Right. I got to do something about this. Little did I know it's an industry standard.
Plus, you don't want...
kind of have the wires... I think they instructed the video guys, just have the wires bandied about. If you could just have them bandied about... Oh, that's not a good shot. We have a photo up on @JimandSam Show on Twitter, and it really does illustrate the wiring of the new high-tech cameras.
It looks amateur, and this is why it's bad. No. You don't want people focusing on the cameras when they come in, and they're black, and people could see them. But when someone comes in, the wiring just makes it look like this cheap rig job.
Well, luckily, they're giant. They will move, and there's yellow wires just kind of dangling from all of them. Kind of at this point, anywhere you look in the studio, there's just wires hanging off the walls.
Yeah.
Now, I am optimistic because I am an eternal optimist. That's kind of me. And I'm saying that this could be temporary. This could just be they're trying things out. They're setting things up. They're looking to see if it works. And for now, we see all the wiring because they want to be able to plug and unplug all they want.
Right. I hope that's the truth.
And then eventually, once everything is in its permanent position, things will be concealed.
Right.
Troy has pointed out a startling lack of slack on one of the wires that would lead me to believe it would make it very, very difficult to conceal it in the position that it's in. But maybe an extension cord of some sort. I don't know. All I know is there's a friendly $5 right now that's floating on this. We're gambling in the studio. It's a $5 bet. I'm going with these wires will eventually be hidden. Troy Kwan is saying, you are being an optimistic fool, Sam Roberts. The wires are staying exactly where they are.
Yeah, I agree with Troy.
You do?
Yeah.
They said, we got some wires hanging out of the wall. Let's plug it into the camera. Let's move on. That's what you think the philosophy is?
I hope that's wrong.
The job was to get the cameras in. That's all, Making it pretty. Yeah, making it pretty is not part of their wheelhouse.
Regardless of your diva demands, they're probably saying, oh, these guys, the guys who were complaining yesterday because their headphones didn't have anything audio pumping out of them. Now what? Now what's the deal? Now what's their issue? Which they're right. It's getting preposterous on our end. The things that we're demanding, not good. Not good.
No, we're a little bit pushy.
We are being very pushy. But yeah, the cameras are here. You would think, though, because they're clearly very expensive, there's a lot of technology being put into the studio. There's a big investment. Like, this is something that they were talking about doing for a long time. Years. Oh, don't worry, we're going to rig the studio with cameras. Oh, don't worry. To the point where when Jim McClure told us, oh yeah, they're going to put cameras in the studio. We were like, okay, every boss we've ever had that's come in, one of the first things that they say is, we're going to redo the studio, we're going to put cameras in. And I go, okay, yeah, we'll see. The cameras are in. I go, that's amazing. The company's finally making the investment. That's why I'm thinking, if they're making the investment, you would think that they wouldn't just stop at level, get to level 8 and then stop. They'd go all the way to 10, the final 2 levels being hide the wires behind a wall.
You hope they wouldn't stop.
Right.
Yeah, I don't believe they wouldn't stop. I hope they wouldn't.
Right.
I think they've stopped.
You do.
What year did Opie and Anthony come into the studio?
I believe it was 94.
97.
Oh, I was going to say 96. Was it? No, it was
2008-ish.
Yeah, around there.
Was that about right?
Yeah, I can tell you what almost. It was around.
It was about 10 years ago.
No, it was after 2008. It was
2010? Say 9 or 10 years ago.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, around 2008. You're right.
Yeah.
And then they redid the studio shortly thereafter, right?
A little while after,
Okay.
yeah.
So when they redid that studio, I remember them saying, "Oh, we wired it. It's ready for cameras, ready to go right now."
These are the wires.
That was a lie.
What do you mean that was a lie? We had the wires.
Maybe they had different cameras in mind, too, back then.
That's
Smaller.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, there was
Not
also
these behemoths.
behemoths. They really are big. But I'm sure it's going to look amazing.
2009.
2009 we came over. Okay, so
April 2009.
About 10
years ago.
10 years ago.
April Fools.
Very, very good. That's what they said.
Great.
I think that the wires will be hidden very, very beautifully.
I can't believe it's been a decade since we've been in that old studio
Oh, the big one
on 57th
over on
Street.
57th Street. Yeah, I can believe that. That feels like a kind of a lifetime ago.
10 years, man, since we were doing the walkover.
Just a young, scrapping 25-year-old,
That's right.
young, dumb, and full
Drinking.
of drinking. Yeah. Well, speaking of
I
young,
feel queasy, by the way, so if I run out, I have to go to the bathroom.
you think you're gonna throw
I
up
don't
now?
know.
What's going on with you?
Queasy. I don't know.
No, are you? Why would you throw up if you got a cold?
I don't know. I just feel nauseous.
Oh, you think it was something you ate?
Probably not. I ate last night.
Maybe just being off. Just off in general. You're not sleeping well.
How long would it take you to throw up if you ate something bad?
You could throw. It would take an instant. It would just you go bleh, and then it would all come out.
How long would it take from the time you ate it?
Oh, you mean if you had food poisoning?
Yeah, you would have known by now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like 6 hours maybe.
Not even that. Sometimes it happens.
Sometimes it goes right through you, right?
I ate last night at like 9.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's food
Yeah, you would
poisoning.
have known by now.
Yeah, it would have. Yeah, it would have hit you. You would have probably woken up in the middle of the night at some point
Maybe.
and just gotten hit by it. But still, you're off. You're having an off week. You're gonna be in San Francisco this weekend, though, right?
Yeah, I gotta fly tomorrow morning, man.
Oh my God, that's misery. Being on the plane, the guy next to you is just sniffling and coughing, and you're like, what? You're getting everybody on the plane sick.
Yeah, I do apologize for my lack of humor this week to the audience. I just really know I can't.
What makes this week any different?
By the way, I don't know it.
I mean, this week you're apologizing.
I was going to ask about the other weeks.
Yeah. What do you? How about the last 2.5 years? You know, that's.
I know. I can't even come back to that. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Hit me too hard
Boy,
with
if
that
anyone
one.
ever wanted to get one over on Jim Norton.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, this is
You know,
the best time to do it.
we made a blunder. We really should have had Voss in studio this week. He would have just fucking hammered you.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah,
I saw him last night at the Comedy Cellar,
yeah,
and he came in guns blazing.
he did.
I had nothing.
Nothing. What were you doing at the Comedy Cellar last night? You're still doing sets and whatnot?
I did one last night.
What are you doing?
I had to.
What? No, you don't have to. What do you mean you have to?
I'm working on material.
I guess, but yeah, clearly you can't work on it right now. You know, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't do you a lick of good. It's just in your head. You're sitting there going like, no, I got to go through it. I got to go through it. No, you're not doing anybody any favors, including yourself.
It made me feel good to do it.
Did it?
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, I walked into this place to get food, and this girl goes, who I've seen many times, and she goes, wow, your voice is sexy. They always think you're sexy when you're sick.
Well, of course, you got that raspy voice.
Yeah.
You kidding me? It's the one time in my life where I feel like I belong behind a microphone,
Yeah.
where I got just a little bit of rasp. I need that.
And what I said to her was sexy, too.
What did you say?
Daddy wants to go clitting.
Clitting?
Clitting.
Like clitting?
Clitting, yeah.
It's disgusting, man. That's really.
But even when I have time to think of it, I can't come out with anything funny. Apologize.
No, it's okay. It's okay. A lot's going on, you know. Poor Joe Biden. Every day somebody's coming out accusing him of Eskimo kissing.
Two so far.
Two, yeah.
It is funny though how and again, I don't think the guy's a fucking bad dude. I like Joe Biden, and I hope he survives it because I think he is just affectionate. But it's funny how fast the press defends him as being affectionate.
Mm-hmm.
But if he wasn't a guy they liked, even if he was telling the truth, they would not be defending him.
Yeah, what are the levels? What are the levels of affectionate? Because I don't think that Joe Biden is that far removed from, like, Al Franken. Al Franken, he did the, fake hand over the breast on the photo, right? And maybe he squeezed a butt cheek. George H.W. Bush. They were mad at him because he was pinching butt cheeks, right, as an old man?
Yeah.
I don't think that's that far removed from what Joe Biden was doing. And
They couldn't get anything on him, though. He's 90. He was like...
HW?
Yeah.
But nobody was sitting there. People weren't defending him like they were defending Joe.
Can you imagine if there was one photo of Trump or any conservative with nuzzling someone's hair? How fast they would be all over that.
It wouldn't be good. Would you see the guy that kissed Beyonce at the award show?
No.
I think it might have been at the NAACP Awards. It happened over the weekend. People were talking about it this week. I don't know who the guy was, Troy, so it might make it a little difficult. But, yeah, there you go. There's that second thing right there. Amari. Oh, I guess that's Omari from B2K. I'm assuming, unless it's just another guy named Amari. He was he's been getting in trouble on Twitter, especially because he squeezed Beyonce a little too tight when he went in for the hug. He went for the kiss on the cheek, and then the real tight hug, and then he went in for a second kiss that felt like it was getting a little close to the mouth. You know what I mean? And people are going, we know what you were doing. Jay-Z's standing right there. It's not right to do this to the Jigga Man. Not right in front of him like this. But people were really looking at it. Maybe, yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, watch him. Watch him. Jay-Z's standing right there. There's Beyonce in all of her glory, Queen Bee, members of the Beehive congregating around her. And there's, there he is. She's just yapping. Amari Hardwick. Oh, a.k.a. Ghost. Maybe it's a different Amari then. Amari Hardwick looks like he's going to come in for the kill.
Where is he?
There he is right there. He's taking a photo with Jay-Z. Going in, kiss on the cheek. Real tight hug. That second kiss is what got people to go, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Because you notice...
The second kiss, yeah.
I watched this a couple times. The hug, it's almost like he goes in for a hug, but then he does another quarter rep. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where he squeezes in a little, like an extra quarter rep in the hug, where you're going, that was unnecessary. That wasn't friendly.
He's just excited.
You think so? Or do you think he was shooting a shot? I mean, he goes, the second kiss? And it wasn't, you think it was just awkwardly placed? Because it was not placed on the cheek. It was closer to the lip than the cheek, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's watch again.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
It's pretty creepy, right?
Yeah.
And he's taking a photo with the husband, Jay-Z.
Young Hove,
the Jigga Man, Iceberg. and he scoops around. Okay, that's fine. There's that quarter rep, and that second kiss is weird.
Jay-Z was going to look for a handshake, but he didn't give it to him.
No. That's another, yeah. He's like, should I shake your hand? The guy was like, you're not going to want to shake my hand after what I do to your wife.
he had his eye on the prize.
Oh, yeah, he did. He's like, no, Jay-Z. I'm here for one reason and one reason only. I want to feel what your wife feels like squeezed against my chest. That's a very good Jay-Z impression. Yeah, that's very, very good. I thought he was here for a second. He's like, uh-oh. But this stuff, everybody's watching now. You can't get away with it like he used to be able to.
Everything's on film.
Especially where it's like, look, is this guy getting quote-unquote canceled? I don't think so. You know, is he a sexual predator? Is he going to jail? No. But people know he's one of those creepy huggers. And I guarantee you, a lot of women are going to see him, and they're going to be really thinking about, they say hello, he gives him a hug, this Amari, whatever his last name is, and people are going to be thinking, what are your intentions here? Because I feel like Amari Hardwick, not good. The Beehive was, it says the Beehive was unhappy. They noticed right away. And this is the same thing. This is the same position Joe Biden has found himself in.
Oh, yeah.
Joe's
Biden, very affectionate.
Yes, there is some enjoyment that Joe Biden gets out of greeting women that maybe the rest of us don't get.
But he does it so publicly, and he's not trying to be sneaky, that it's got to be, he's not trying to hide it.
No, he's certainly not trying to hide it. It's almost as if he doesn't, I don't know if he doesn't realize it. It's just his natural inclination, or he doesn't care. He's going off of feelings. Joe Biden is a feeling guy. He's a virile, sexual man. And I would imagine that the things that Joe Biden does in the bedroom, I'm sure with his beautiful wife, this stuff is amateur hour. The filthy, filthy ways that Joe Biden spends his fuck nights in the bedroom. This is probably this is no big deal.
I mean, come on, dude. That is so fucking creepy.
To press your forehead.
And look, he goes in for a kiss.
And look at the girl. She's rolling her eyes. To press your forehead while you're gripping the arm of a young girl. Not good. Not good. When you use the garbage can, Jim.
Yeah, just vomit in here.
Jim excused himself. He is not a giving person to the show. The garbage can is right there. We got mics all over the place. I'm sure people would like to hear.
He didn't even walk down the hallway.
Where'd he go? Maybe he quit. Maybe he's just done.
Possible.
I think he walked down the hallway.
Did he? Maybe I just missed him. Maybe he walked so fast that I missed him.
Yeah. Yeah, to the vomitorium.
Yeah, just puke in here.
Yeah, exactly. We're family.
Yeah.
Let's share it. People want to hear. People want to know.
I think this is just how Joe is.
Yeah, but do you think that does that mean he's a creep?
No, I don't think there's anything.
You don't think there's anything sexual?
No.
Not one thing?
No.
Because there's levels to sexuality. There's degrees.
I think that's just the way he is. What did Pelosi say yesterday? You got to just greet everyone at arm's length now, Joe?
Pelosi was kind of throwing him under the bus. I don't know what these people are doing, why they think that Joe Biden is not the candidate to beat Trump, because Pelosi went out and she goes, you got to greet people at arm's length. And then she said something to the effect of, it's not about what, I understand that you didn't have any bad intentions, but it's not about what your intentions are. It's about how people perceive what you're doing.
And she's not wrong. That's actually good advice.
She's not wrong, but that's for your opponent to point out, not for the person that's supposed to have your back.
I think she kind of does have his back there, though.
What?
Because she's saying, look, this is what you have to do. She's not saying Joe's a creepy motherfucker.
No, but she's saying you got to knock off that behavior. And why would you have to knock off that behavior if you weren't being creepy?
Well, just because it's the time.
Come on, that's not what she's saying.
She's saying pretend I have a cold and pretend you have a cold.
Here's what she's saying. Look, Joe, I'm a lady that's been in politics for a long time. All these guys aren't going to tell you anything because they're not sitting there in the rooms that we are. When us ladies get together and we're in the bathroom and we're sitting on the couch that they have in the women's bathroom and we're all talking about everything that goes on, you being a creep is a big conversation. That's what Pelosi's saying.
Could anybody think that this is appropriate behavior?
Maybe he doesn't watch himself on TV. Maybe he doesn't go back and watch himself, and so he thinks, you know how sometimes you do something, and in your mind it feels right and natural, but then when you see it played back, you're like, oh my God, that's so weird that I do that.
I don't even think that registers.
To Joe.
To Joe.
Right. Like, guys, when you're saying hello to somebody, you press your forehead against them. Because there's multiple instances of Joe Biden pressing his forehead against people. Young girls.
Little kids.
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody could look past that.
It doesn't help all these Illuminati people who do the molestation conspiracy theories. It doesn't help that narrative at all. Mike in New York. What's up, Mike?
Yeah, did you hear Trump zing Biden?
Here's the thing about Trump. Trump is loving this whole thing because Trump is watching the people that are supposed to have Joe's back be the ones to point out that Joe's a creep. So yeah, all Trump said was like, are you enjoying yourself, Joe? Are you enjoying yourself? Welcome, Joe. Welcome.
No, yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
He said he talked to a general, and the general gave him good news. So he said he wanted to give him a kiss. He said, I felt like Joe Biden.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. It's just, there's something. It says, this is what Trump said last night. I was going to call him. I don't know him well. I was going to say, welcome to the world, Joe. You having a good time? Which is also Trump's way of saying, like, if you think this is bad, Wait until I get my hands on you.
Yeah.
Just wait. Just wait.
He's going to annihilate him.
Unless this is just a strategy where they're saying, let's get all this Joe Biden is a creep stuff out of the way before he even announces he's running for president. That way, by the time he actually announces and we start getting things underway, people are already sick of it. They've already heard of it. But I feel like there's so much stuff going on. I mean, it's been years of this and nobody's sick of it. Everybody is fascinated by the idea, whether you think it's inappropriate or not, what level you think it's inappropriate on. Everybody is just fascinated at the idea that he's doing this. Like, you watch, it's uncomfortable to watch, whether you support, whoever you support, whatever political party that you are a part of. It's just uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable thing to see this old man do that to people, just be that over affectionate guy.
How does he not have somebody around him that's like, hey, Joe, you probably shouldn't do that?
Because Joe's like, really? Well, you probably shouldn't tell me what to do because I'm trying to get my rocks off here, man.
But I'd be like, look, there's compilations of you touching and being inappropriate with young girls.
Let me ask you this, Troy. Every time I've come to you and say romantically you're making terrible decisions, do you stop?
Yeah, but I'm not the vice president of the United States.
But what are you thinking with?
My penis.
What do you think Joe Biden sometimes focuses on?
But don't you think if you're a politician, you should try to not focus?
I think if you're a DJ, you should try to not focus on your penis all the time.
DJs are supposed to focus on their penises.
What, not at 48? But
41.
But I think that sometimes you could have the best of intentions in the world, and those instincts kick in, and what can you do about it? It's a monster, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. John in New Jersey. What's up, John?
What's going on, guys? Yeah, I think Jim went to throw up because you're spending another half hour talking about Joe Biden and saying sexual in that weird voice. Man.
It's gross.
It's on Monday morning. I must throw up on the way to work. I'm about to now on the way to work.
Look, I'm just calling it like I see it. I'm not the one doing it. You can't blame me for being the person to tell you what's going on here. Joe Biden has a certain sexuality about him. It's just is what it is. You can't deny it. You could say Joe is just the sweet old grandpa. You could say I don't like him, but it's for political reasons. However you feel about Joe Biden, you can't deny that he is a sexual being. And he at his age, I believe, is probably still having intercourse with his wife, and I think that that's commendable.
Yeah, Jim.
All right. Thank you. I think that if anything, we should be celebrating, you know? I mean, honestly, how many presidents are having sex with their wives in the White House? Bill Clinton having sex in the White House, probably not with his wife.
Probably not.
Donald Trump? No way. Maybe he's having sex with fake Melania, but Melania's not having sex with Donald Trump in that White House. She didn't even like hanging out with him anymore.
No.
Right?
That's true.
Most presidents, I bet most presidents are not having sex with their wives in the White House. If Joe Biden was...
Obama was.
Obama was. He certainly was. Yes, he was.
He's sexual.
It's weird. You kind of sound like, just an Obama fan. Like, you kind of sound like you're writing fanfic when you're talking about Obama like that.
No, I just think he was sexual.
Why? He never came across as sexual.
No.
Like, Joe Biden comes across as sexual in everything he does. He's licking ice cream cones, and you're like, I know what he's thinking about.
Joe Biden loves 2 cones.
2 cones. Exactly. You know what that's for.
Fucking?
Exactly.
One for him, one for the lady.
Sure.
To get her in the mood.
Sure. But Obama's never come across as sexual. I don't even know where you're getting that from.
Hey, he's just got an energy about him.
You're the only one picking up on that.
Right.
Literally the only one. Yeah. Did you ever pick up on that, Troy?
Never.
No, I didn't think so.
You guys are weird.
I didn't think so. Scott in New York.
Hey, Sam, what's up?
Hey, man.
The Biden thing almost like Tom Brady's thing with kissing guys on the mouth. They probably were raised that way. It's just a form of affection, maybe.
Yeah, it might be.
Maybe he learned it in his childhood.
It might be that there's just something like, you're just raised in a certain way, and you get to a place where nobody's telling you to knock it off because, you don't mean anything by it. Nobody's got serious allegations against Joe Biden for real inappropriate stuff. That you would think that if there's so much stuff that we've seen, if there's anything underneath the surface for Joe Biden, that stuff would have come out. Even the people that are coming out now and accusing him of things, it's all just stuff that we saw on TV. It's pressing foreheads, it's Eskimo kissing, it's rubbing hair. It's all that. So there are no accusations that Joe Biden did anything behind the scenes. So maybe it is, There's no accusations that Tom Brady is going nuts in the locker room. It's just that when he gets happy and when he celebrates, he's just kissing people on the mouth because that's what he does.
It's funny that you say, "Oh, he was raised that way. That's just the way it is. He's an older guy."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But if you're raised to, say the N-word, that's not
okay. Well, I haven't heard him say that word.
No, but I'm just saying, what you can't.
I didn't say it's appropriate.
You can't be like, "Oh, that's just the way they were raised."
But
you got to stop.
He should stop. I'll give you that. All I'm saying is it's an explanation as to why, not so much an excuse, right? It's an explanation. Honestly, I think Tom Brady should stop kissing dudes on the sidelines. Kissing anybody, no kissing, just no more kissing on the mouth from Tom Brady or anybody else on the sidelines, and no more hair caressing and Eskimo kissing from Joe Biden. I think that would be fine. We don't need to see that leaking out into the public. Now, Jim, you were very selfish with your dry heaving or your puke, whatever happened. You could have done that.
No.
Did you dry heave?
No, but I feel queasy. I texted Rob, and I'm like, maybe a couple of pretzels, because I took pills this morning on an empty stomach, and maybe that might have been.
That probably did it.
I never do that. And I'm like, because I'm upstairs, I'm like, what did I do different? Maybe that's it. So it's just something to put in my stomach.
Taking pills, dude.
Huh?
Just go home.
You could go home.
No, I don't need to go home.
You just had to leave because you thought you were going to puke.
Yeah.
And you can't talk for 3 days.
There's no shame in that.
Yeah, I mean, if you take one day off, and I mean from the Comedy Cellar and everything, you take one day off of everything.
Yeah.
You didn't. I've seen you every morning. You did not take one day off. I know that's not true.
Are you flying today or tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
If you take one day off, you might be able to come back stronger. But it's just if you take 0 days off, it's just going to be this cycle of not really that much better, not really that much better. You're extending it because you're exhausting yourself.
Oh, maybe.
Because you're putting so much energy.
Get some of them pretzels, though.
Pretzel Boy's coming down here.
My stomach might help.
All about the Pretzel Boy.
Pretzel Boy.
We're trying to figure out Joe Biden.
I know.
We're trying to figure him out. Although, Scott in Illinois.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, man.
When did this become the Ron and Fest show?
What do you mean?
I'm waiting for Jim to sit over there in the corner and say, "Cookie."
No,
cookie.
Jim wasn't
saying, "Buddy, you okay, buddy? Do you need to go home, buddy?"
No, it's
well, I'm just having a little illness, sir.
Jim is physically ill. Jim is physically ill, and we're trying to get him through.
Are you sure it's just physically ill, or is it mentally?
I do have both.
Need help
I know.
now.
I can't answer that question and say truthfully one way or the other.
Thanks, Rob. I just wanted 2. Brings me 30 pretzels.
Well, he's the Pretzel Boy.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. BOI.
Whatever I don't eat, I'll sit on.
See, that's the old Jim. Thank you, Scott. Let's go to Joe in Westchester. What's up, Joe?
I don't want to bother the audience.
Hey, what's up?
Then why'd you talk with your mouth full of pretzel?
I wouldn't worry about it.
You don't think so?
No, it's fine.
Hello?
Hey,
That's
Joe.
natural.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Didn't you guys find it odd that for 8 years while he was vice president, nobody said anything about his creepy behavior? And now all of a sudden that he decides that, he's wavering on entering the race. Now he's the guy that basically sits under the bleachers.
Everything has kind of changed in the last few years, though.
Well, yeah, it is interesting because things have changed, and I think that's what it is. Like, people like us were talking about Joe Biden being creepy. Entertainers were talking about Joe Biden being creepy back then. I remember talking about Joe Biden having fuck night in America. And this was way back while he was still the vice president. So, but you're right about the news wasn't really getting into it. And the politicians in his own political party were not kind of chastising him for it. But they also, I don't think, looked at it like he wasn't running for president and it wasn't 2019. And when you combine those two things together, you start looking at everything like it's a completely different world. Let's go to Greg in Illinois. What's up, Greg?
Hey, Jim and Sam.
Hey, man.
So, I first saw, a video of him years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, hugging and, kissing the back of the head of, a Secretary of Defense wife that was just being, put into office. And as he does, as he's doing it, the Secretary of Defense guy or whatever, he notices it. His wife is she kind of puts her shoulders up, and he notices Joe close, and it pisses him off a little bit, and he stops his speech and pulls his wife a little closer, and then Joe puts his hand off her. And I saw that video a while ago, and I've always thought that was that's not cool. Like, I always felt like Joe, like, knew what he was doing to the dude's wife, like, right in front of everybody. I don't know if you've seen this video or not.
I have seen him. We're looking at photos of it right now. Thank you, Greg. And I'll tell you that if I was sitting there and some dude who's probably taller than me
Sure.
had his hands on my wife's shoulders and started kissing the back of her head, I'd be like, "What are you doing, bro? What are you doing?"
How about if it was Vince?
I mean, Vince, he probably had his own reasons then. That would probably be okay.
Do you know what it is too? It's so weird because the paradox is we're becoming so much more affectionate. Like, as a culture,
you think so?
Like, men are hugging a lot more. People are touching a lot more than they ever did. Absolutely, man. Guys never touched the way men touch now. Guys hug each other now constantly. It used to just be athletes. After you'd hug after when you score a touchdown. Men hug. Every one of my friends hugs. Kiss on the cheek. It's much more affectionate now than it used to be.
Yeah, well, I know you're more.
What's that?
You're more.
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say Jim's more affectionate with men than he ever has been before.
That's true, but not with their penises.
What?
I'm not being affectionate with their penises.
Not men's penises.
No.
Women's penises.
Yeah, I'm a fag.
Are you going over your mantra again?
Yep.
Your mirror mantra?
Yep.
You're saying you're not affectionate with women? Meaning that, like, if you're a heterosexual man, maybe you're more affectionate with your guy friend, but you're not sitting there going over to somebody else's wife and kissing her neck.
Yeah, especially now, Me Too is a huge thing. Like, you have to be more appropriate with women.
Yeah, but Joe's just like, look, this will make her feel good. I'm telling her, like, oh, I think you're great. I'm going to press my forehead against you and whisper sweet nothings in your ear.
You're saying Joe's all about making them feel good.
That's it. He's making women feel good.
That girl in the photo, by the way, I
Yes.
think she came out yesterday and said that photo is totally misleading and that it's not a big deal.
I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm looking at the photo. There's no way that photo's misleading.
But she's saying it's not a big deal.
She's saying that. I'm looking at it. It's a big deal. She can say whatever she wants.
Are you mansplaining?
I don't care. It's not a big deal to her. That's fine. That little lady doesn't think it's a big deal.
Isn't that the only person that matters in this story?
No, I'm creeped out when I look at it.
Well,
it's a creepy thing. I have to sit there and go.
Is it jealousy?
A little.
Okay.
I would like the opportunity to Eskimo kiss some chicks.
No, you wish you were her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You wish Joe was towering over you.
You wish Joe had an ice cream cone for you.
I would love to know what the sweet secrets are that Joe Biden whispers in your ear as he's pressing cheek to cheek.
It's ice cream and fistfuls of cash.
It's like, you want to get ice cream after this? What do you like? Vanilla. Like, are you coming on to me or are you actually asking for ice cream? I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. Yeah, I would love to know what the sweet secrets are. Look, I'm telling you, it's a creepy thing. Whether she's okay, if she's okay with it, that's fine. But if I'm going like, hey, you see what the president does when he's hanging out? Imagine he's like meeting world leaders, right? And there's like a world leader's wife. And he just starts kind of like pressing his fingers against their cheek. Like it goes the back of the hand against the cheek. And he goes, I'm just being affectionate. What's the big deal? It's a lot. You know what I mean?
I would respect that.
Like, I'd get a kick out of it. I would love for it to happen. But I'd be sitting there going, I could see where there are those who would object to it.
Be offended by it, upset by it, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not offended by much, but...
No, I think Joe's just affectionate. He's an old guy. He's 76.
He still fucks.
He might still fuck, yeah.
I think that there's no... He's virile, is the thing about Joe Biden. Meanwhile, you got Trump, who, as much as he's enjoying this Joe Biden thing, he's starting to have trouble with his words.
Yep.
Did you hear him last night try to say origin?
Yeah.
Like there is something going on, and it's not like he's dumb. It's not like he doesn't know how to say the word. There's some kind of brain blockage going on where that word can't get out. And that always scares me. That's the type of brain stuff where one part of your brain, you know what you're trying to say, but the other part of your brain just won't let it get out, you know?
That's right.
You start to feel like you don't have full control. Listen to him try to say origin yesterday.
Go and take a look at the oranges of the investigation, the beginnings of that investigation, about the Mueller report. The Mueller report, I wish, covered the oranges.
He said it again. That time,
Is that his teeth?
The second time, he was really trying.
Is he having a hard time with his teeth? Origins, is that his teeth?
Orange. Maybe that N needs to hit the middle of the word
Might be
because
his
otherwise, maybe after origin. Maybe
watch the way he says it. It looks like it's a mouth thing.
Maybe it's hard to keep the teeth in if you end with an N. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know.
I hope they now go and take a look at the oranges of the investigation, the beginnings of that investigation about the Mueller report. The Mueller report, I wish, covered the oranges, how it started, the beginnings of the investigation.
He keeps defining the word because he knows he's saying, because he's trying to. And the second time, there's 3 times he says it in that clip. The second time he said origin. He knows the word is origin.
He's trying to make himself say it now because he knows he fucked it up. He wants to prove he knows the word.
But then he said oranges again.
Yes, he did.
He said orange, like the fruit.
Yeah.
Just a brain fart.
It's not a brain fart, though, because he's actively trying to say origin, and he can't. A brain fart is when you go like, oh, that's not what I meant. Like you just kind of think of the wrong thing. He is thinking of the word origin, but instead, no matter how hard he tries, like Porky Pig. Like the hole in the wall.
Yeah.
You know? That's why he goes like oranges, the beginning, the first part. When you start to define the word, that's when you realize I can't say this word. I can't get it out of my face. I don't know. I've lost confidence in my ability to say it.
Yeah.
It's fun to
I hope
watch.
his brain's not fucked up.
Yeah. Hopefully it's the teeth.
Yeah, I hope it's the teeth.
Because we've heard him have spells of dry mouth before.
Yes, we have.
Where it does sound like he's trying to suck those teeth back in.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't have any problem with that.
No.
The brain is tough to come back from.
He has a very large brain.
Right. And you'd hate to see anything bad happen to his very large brain. Did you hear him trying to explain?
That's one of my favorite clips ever.
It's incredible. It's incredible. And to think, anybody saying that, I would think it was funny. Just the way it was said. The fact that the president said it.
Trump saying very large brain.
Brain. My very large
brain.
Brain.
That, like he said they were complimenting.
Right. Do you think anybody's ever gone up to him?
He's a very large brain.
That's not even how you determine intelligence. It's not like if the brain is physically larger, it will mean that you're smarter, you know? That's not, I don't think that's how that works. I think it's that first clip you had up there, Troy. That's what it said anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna be a commercial.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, the physical of the brain. It's how it's used, I think. It's the motion of the ocean, not the size of the boat.
You don't think people compliment?
Well, when that movie about Stephen Hawking came out, and everybody was talking about Stephen Hawking, has anybody ever said, you know what's great about Stephen Hawking? He's got
feet.
Yeah. Nobody's ever said he's got a huge brain.
No.
They go, he's smart, he's very, very intelligent, but they don't go, very large brain. Let's hear if we can get to it.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Trump, and for Donald Trump's very, very large
brain. Did you hear him talking about wind power?
No.
And windmills? Oh my God, that's great. Is it still that was from over the weekend.
Yeah.
If you look up Donald Trump, unless you have the email from maybe Monday.
I think both clips should still be on your board.
Oh, great. Let me find it on the sheet because I didn't know we were going to go here.
Yeah, I don't think Rob took them off.
That's great. Oranges. They're double down. I don't see the original
That should be there.
windmill clip. Unless you want to tell me.
Eight Trump.
8 Trump. Oh, that must be on a different sheet or something. Okay, let me just find it here. This is Trump. He did an amazing rally over the weekend. Just the stuff he's saying now. And I feel like now he's gaining a lot of confidence in the fact that the Democrats don't seem to have anybody really.
And he won. And he fucking won with the whole Mueller thing.
He won with the Mueller thing. He's looking around. He's like, they're already attacking Biden for me. I mean, young Rob was able to put a compelling argument against Beto, so that doesn't seem to be much of a threat.
Right.
So he's back to giving his rallies where he's just saying nutty shit. And this is what he said over the weekend.
If Hillary got in, you wouldn't have that stat, I can tell you right now. you'd be doing windmills. Wing. And if it doesn't blow, you can forget about television for that night. Darling, I want to watch television. I'm sorry. The wind isn't blowing. I know a lot about wind.
Isn't that a great way to close it? I know a lot about wind.
Yeah, why would you say that?
I don't know.
Material.
And also, that's not the way wind technology, that's not the way wind power works.
What?
It's not like you need it to actively be blowing right now, otherwise it's not going to happen, right? We're not putting the cable system on a pinwheel, and then if it's blowing, then the cable works, and if it's not blowing, it stops. You're actually able to retain power. It's like solar panels. They suck in solar energy all day. That way at night, there is still energy inside the panels.
Right.
However, I guess Trump is saying, no TV tonight. The wind isn't blowing.
Yeah, he's acting like it's a barge and the fucking thing has to be turning.
Right, exactly. And then yesterday, he doubled down on it. Yesterday, he doubled down on windmills.
Is he pro-windmill?
He's anti-windmill. And I don't know why he's still campaigning against Hillary Clinton. It's been years. But I guess he must have just heard. Because this is the exact same argument. And I remember when he did it, way before he was in politics. He was on Celebrity Apprentice. And I sat there watching Celebrity Apprentice. I think I've told this before. But he was sitting in front of all the celebrities. It was the beginning of an episode. And they're in New York City. And all the celebrities are there just being forced to listen to him. And he starts the show. They're on the roof of one of the Trump buildings in New York in the winter. It's cold, right? He starts the show. He goes like this. Hey, man, we're all cold today, aren't we? And then all the celebrities were like, yeah. And then he looks at him and he goes, yeah, so I wonder what happened to global warming.
Right.
And you're just going like, what? How at this point are we still making the argument that if global warming is such a thing, why are there cold days?
There'd be never cold days. Otherwise, if global warming is true, you're never going to need your fucking hat.
Exactly. And I think that's the similar philosophy he's got to windmills. This is what he said about windmills. Yeah, which I didn't even know windmills were a thing. I mean, I knew they existed.
Sure.
But I didn't know they were part of the national discourse.
No, Mike Bloomberg's a big windmill fan.
He likes windmills?
Loves windmills.
You know what? Maybe that's why he's doing this. Because Bloomberg is now saying that if Biden decides not to run, Bloomberg might reconsider running.
How old is Bloomberg?
He's right around Biden's age.
Enough of people who are 78.
He's just a 78-year-old white male, but he's got a ton of money.
I don't care if he's white. I just don't want another 70-something-year-old guy. I don't want anybody in their late 70s. For fuck's sake. Can't find anybody younger?
Beto.
Yeah.
Beto is younger. I don't know where Beto's position on windmills is, though. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe he knows just in case Bloomberg decides to dip his foot into this race, right, I'm going to start making windmills sound like the dumbest thing in the world before he even gets there. That way, the minute he opens his stupid mouth about windmills, everybody's going to think he's an idiot.
Is Hillary going to run?
No, she said she isn't. She better not. She doesn't have she's no shot.
Hillary wanted to put up wind. If you have a windmill anywhere near your house, congratulations. Your house just went down 75% in value. And they say the noise causes cancer. You tell me that one. You know, the thing makes it so... And of course, it's like a graveyard for birds. If you love birds, you'd never want to walk under a windmill because it's a very sad sight. It's like a cemetery. We put a little statue for the poor birds. It's true.
Travis is right. It's windmill material.
He is literally doing a windmill hunk for Netflix.
He sat at home. He's probably watching Fox and Friends. He's sitting up in his bed, and he's writing down windmill jokes. And he's sitting, oh, yeah, that's fun. Oh, windmill. And he's just writing. He loves the sound. You noticed he did it at both speeches?
Yep.
Wee. He also, over the weekend, had an amazing take on the Great Lakes. You know, I guess was he in Michigan, Travis? Where was he?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so Michigan, I guess, very prideful of the Great Lakes, right?
Yep.
You know, so Trump wanted to relate to the people.
I support the Great Lakes.
Isn't it about time we had a president who supported the Great Lakes?
Yeah, this anti-Great Lakes shit has got to stop.
It's too much.
The liberals want to fill in those lakes and put immigrants on them.
Yeah, like, what is there to support?
The Great Lakes.
It's a body of water.
He's a big supporter of it. He loves them. A lot of people want to do away with the Great Lakes.
A lot of people hate those lakes.
They hate them.
Yeah.
You know,
Trump's always been a pro-lake, pro-cloud guy.
That's right. Right. He likes clouds. He likes the sun.
I support the Great Lakes. Always have. They're beautiful. They're big. Very deep. Record deepness, right?
He's just going off book. He's just flying.
And guess what?
What?
No.
You mean the Great Lakes don't have record deepness?
Nope.
Isn't that where the Loch Ness Monster is held? They just can't get to her because it's so deep?
Yeah.
It's always got to be the best.
Record deepness. You know why we're so prideful of the Great Lakes here in Michigan?
They have record deepness.
They're the deepest of all lakes. And besides that, even if they were, who would sit there and go, no, yeah, right. Does your town have the deepest lake? It's a record of deepness.
My favorite is when he goes, very big.
If you watch the video,
okay,
because his facial expressions are just great. I don't know how anybody's not entertained by this guy.
It's so much fun to watch him. Like that's what really bums me out. That the people who don't like him can't just have fun,
like with a moment like this.
Watching
it's funny. Like a couple weeks ago, John Oliver did a thing exactly about this. How it's so hard. Because he is consistently so entertaining.
Exactly. It's so much fun.
But it was nice that somebody on his level admitted that Trump does a lot of hilarious things.
Yes, entertaining.
Again, this is not an important issue, the Great Lakes.
Exactly.
It's not even an issue. Nobody's sitting there wondering what...
That's not true. That's not true.
Are there those that want to do away?
The libtards.
I see. The libtards?
They want to fill in the lakes with sand.
They do.
Yeah.
And allow the immigrants to just walk over them.
And they're anti-lake.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Well, thank God our president supports the Great Lakes.
Absolutely.
And their record deepness.
I support the Great Lakes. Always have. They're beautiful. They're big. Very deep. They're big. Record deepness, right?
Right? Like you just made that up, man.
They're big.
Big record deepness, right? Right? He's pointing down at the ground when he says deepness. But I think he just made up record deepness.
Word depth.
No, I think it's deepness. Record depth. That sounds a little scientific. I think deepness.
But he literally is he's just improvising this whole thing.
He's making it up as he goes. And it's weird because most people wouldn't sit there and go like, we're going to say there's a record for this. If it's just made up, you know?
Right.
Let's go to Bill in Canada. What's up, Bill?
Hello, how's it going?
Hey,
Good.
Bill.
Yes, how are you?
How you doing?
Hey, Sam, you're terribly wrong.
No.
Windmills and solar panels do not store hydro. They generate hydro. If you have batteries, you can store hydro.
Oh, well, yeah, so you could have batteries in your solar panels.
You could, but they don't.
So you're telling me that the people who use solar energy, their power just runs out at night?
Yeah, unless they got batteries to store it in.
Right.
You were saying that if they store hydro, they don't.
That's right, Bill. He was. I was going to correct him, but I'm just too ill.
Throw a couple. I don't even know what this hydro is, but throw a couple batteries in there, and we should be good. Travis, should we take a break? Okay. For our guest?
Yeah, it's fine. He's got to be out at 8:30. We can just take a break then.
Is he here?
Okay.
Yeah, he's right outside.
Yes. Well, we have Elias from the WWE here. I'm very, very excited. It's WrestleMania week. Yeah. I've been downing emergency to make sure that whatever sickness that Jim has.
You have a little treat for yourself?
No, it's not a treat. There's nothing treatful about it. I just don't want to get down with the sickness.
That's
but
what you did there.
Elias is here. He's going to be the special musical guest of WrestleMania this Sunday, which is very, very exciting. Jim, you've never met Elias before.
I have not, no.
He's a big man. He's musically talented. He's an athlete. He's incredible. Here he is. Look at a glittery scarf on this early in the morning. Elias,
hello.
He comes prepared.
I made it.
Yeah.
Great. I'm coming up to the desk here. Great intro. Thank you very much.
Of course.
I like walking into that.
Yeah. Well, welcome, man. So, when you do you have to have? I see you got your scarves on your wrists.
All my accessories. That's right. The scarves, the bracelets, the bandanas. I got it.
Do you have to buy them in bulk? Just in case they tear or anything, or do they survive pretty well?
They do pretty well. They hold up pretty well, but I kind of spot shop. You know, if I see something, I'm in Paris or something like that, and I see a bracelet I want, I'll go grab it, or wherever I'm traveling through, if I see a cool scarf, I'll just pick it up.
I guess you have that creative freedom. Like, you can show up with kind of whatever scarf you want. Have there been any scarves that you show up with and they go, you can't walk to the ring wearing that?
So far, no.
There you go.
I kind of can wear whatever, and they've been okay with it, right?
What kind of music do you play?
I mean, personally, I love to play like blues / country. Nice to meet you, by the way.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Blues country, that's kind of my vibe there. I guess like Johnny Cash, Bruce Springsteen, I like that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Did you, because you're like the musician bad guy wrestler character is something that's been done for years, and lots of people have done it successfully. But I was thinking about it, and I think that you're the only one that could actually play. Like the role has always been, I'm going to pretend like I'm a musician, and we all know that you're not, and that's why we're booing. You're kind of the only one that walks up there with the guitar and just plays and sings. And
yes, thank you for pointing that out, by the way, letting the world know that. I'm the only one that's ever actually played their instruments when they went out there. And, guitar is my number one, but as you know, piano, drums, whatever I got to do, I'll throw that in the mix.
So is that what you wanted to do before you wrestled? Do you want to be a musician?
No, I was wanting to be a wrestler, actually. And then music just kind of came along in the throughout my life, so I get to blend them both as I do this. Yeah.
So you always wanted to be a wrestler?
Yeah, I was always wrestling for sure, man.
I heard you were not big in high school. You know who told me that? Pat McAfee.
Pat loves to bring that up.
Yeah. He said you were, because Elias, for those that can't see right now, he's a giant of a man. He's a big arm, big everything.
Thank you very much.
Large fellow,
large guy.
Yeah, I was a skinnier kid. I probably was maybe 170, 165 pounds when I graduated. I was like playing baseball all the time, always running around, that kind of thing. But, when I decided wrestling's what it's going to be, it was, eat a lot of food, lift a lot of weights, try and get in the best shape you can. And that's kind of what I follow all the time now.
How long did it take you to actually feel like, okay, I'm a big dude now?
Jeez, man. I still don't feel like I'm big enough. I got to get bigger, actually. Yeah.
Because you hang out with giant people.
That's true.
Right.
Some of these guys, I'm a big guy to normal people. But, to the guys I'm in, I might just be right in the mix.
Yeah, do you ever get frustrated when you're sitting there and people are watching on TV, and because you're paired up with guys that are equally as big, they're not sitting there going, these are just normal sized dudes.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of times what I find is if people see me in real life, if they're blessed enough to see me in person, they go, wow, you're a lot bigger in real life than I thought you would be.
So when you I guess realize that music is going to be a big part, do you present the fact that you can perform music to WWE and go, this is something I can do?
So it actually kind of started. I was having a conversation with the legendary Dusty Rhodes. I was just talking to him about my life and who I am and whatnot. Sure enough, the next time I talked to him, I brought a guitar in. I told a little story to him about my life while I was strumming, and he was like, dude, that's it right there.
Did he wonder why in the conversation you pulled a guitar out, or did he know you were about to do that?
Dusty Rhodes, the guy's seen it all. He ain't surprised by nothing, you know what I mean? So, he was just interested. And I when I showed up on Monday Night Raw, Vince McMahon, he wanted to know, what am I getting into? What is Elias here? And I went into his office and I said, Vince, put your cell phone away, hold your applause until after I'm finished, and shut your mouth.
You did that in a private meeting with Vince?
Yeah, this was just a one-on-one with Vince. And sure enough, I played him a song, and he said, oh, yeah, this is going to be good.
That's pretty gutsy, because if it works, it's like you have this vision, and of course it worked. You got to show some balls and go in there. Yeah. But if it doesn't work, it might be the dumbest thing you've ever done.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, no, but I had the confidence that it would be good. Yeah, and so did he.
So what is it more nerve-wracking to play guitar for somebody like Dusty Rhodes or Vince McMahon when you're trying to prove what I can do? Yeah. Or is it nerve-wracking when you get in front of a stadium full of people that are there to see a wrestling show and you bust out the guitar?
That's a great question. I guess in the one-on-one scenario, it's a lot more just so personal that it's, I don't know, because now at this point, man, all the arenas and the crowds that I've played in front of, that's just natural. You know what I mean?
Because there's one guy, if he looks at his watch or he yawns, you're like, oh, fuck. You have to notice it. You can't not notice it.
Exactly.
I guess that's like
a lot
on those
of pressure.
Yeah, that's like on those talent shows where you watch them try to have stand-ups perform in front of two people.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're just having a stand-up? Just do a show in front of a judge's table?
You got to cut your teeth in all different ways, right?
Yeah.
So
doing it in front of a couple of people is a lot harder than doing it in front of 500 or 1,000 or more.
Yeah.
It is too personal.
Yeah.
And I guess the freedom, too, of being a villain is that if you screw up in front of an arena full of people and they start booing you, you're still ahead of the game. You're still doing fine.
Oh, it don't matter. It don't matter to me.
It doesn't matter.
Of course, right? Yeah, I've never screwed up. Right? I just go with it.
It is what it is. It's all how it's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
So do you find yourself going like, okay, like I want to be a musician. I want to be taken more seriously for my music. Do you find yourself going, I feel like I'm playing more music than I'm wrestling? Or do you feel like you found the comfortable medium?
I go back and forth between that. Sometimes I'm like, okay, this is right where I would be, and it's where I'm, for instance, like I'm playing my music and doing that, but I'm also feuding with Seth Rollins or something like that. I'm like, okay, that's where I should be. Now, because I've always wanted to be a wrestler, so that's what I love to do. You know what I mean? And the music thing is just like a passion that I have as well. So that's my ideal scenario. When I get to perform, it's equally as fun. It's just I also love the wrestling. You know?
Do you play when you're not wrestling? Do you like just go out and do shows?
No. It's everything's WWE. My entire existence is WWE, man. So, yeah. I mean, I've rebranded the company. If you haven't heard that, WWE stands for Walk with Elias.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah,
so it's all.
I hadn't heard that, but that makes sense.
Yeah, right.
You get it now. You
yeah, of course.
I don't know. It's just so weird for me to see people who can do more than one thing well. Because I go, like, I can't do anything well. Okay. So I sit there, like, I feel like if I had the ability to do any type of music, for example.
Yeah.
I would want to show the whole world I'm like the greatest musician ever. I don't just focus on the music. Look how good I am at doing this because this is a thing that you can't do.
That's not enough for me.
Right.
I got to show them I'm the best musician in the world and the best wrestler. I got to just show it all.
I see. I guess that makes sense.
Well, musicians got to be good too, because most of them don't play music. Like they're all wrestlers, so the fact that you could do something that almost none of them can do.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Well, within WWE, I'm absolutely the greatest musician. I'm talking on a worldwide scale.
Sure.
Right. Do you sit there? Do you look at musicians?
Yeah.
And actually go like, I'm like, if I were just a musician, I think I'd be better than that person.
Well, I've seen concerts and things like that, and I'm like, you know what, like. Geez, I should throw this out there. I shouldn't throw the names out there of who I just recently saw, and I was like, you know what?
I'm better than
Elias is better than this. Yeah,
well, you should. We'd give you an honest. Who did you see?
I saw Mumford and Sons.
Oh, you're better than Mumford.
I think so. Yeah,
I think so.
I would agree with that.
I think that's fair
enough, right?
Yeah, that's also one of those things that I feel like a lot of wrestlers are sitting there going, "What's life going to be like after wrestling? Your body can only go for so long, and at some point you have to figure out, okay, the physicality just isn't going to happen anymore. You can kind of play guitar forever, right?
I would love to. I guess as long as my hands and brain work, I should be able to, right? So yeah, that'd be a fantastic thing to follow up wrestling with.
So you're the musical guest for Wrestlemania this year.
The headlining musical act. As the headliner, we'll just leave it at that.
The headlining musical act. I mean, Joan Jett is going to be there performing too, but you are
exactly
the headlining musical act.
Yeah.
Why Joan Jett? Is she playing? Does she tie in somehow?
She's playing Ronda Rousey out.
Oh, she is.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Her song.
She does bad reputation.
Sure.
I was the same way. I was like, when they were just like, Joan Jett's going to be at Wrestlemania, I was like, yeah?
It was like Conor McGregor had Sinead O'Connor sing the national anthem once when he walked. I understand that.
It makes sense. It's a tie-in. But do you go, well, I'd like to have a match at Wrestlemania.
And one day, of course, that is absolutely on the agenda. But right now, to be kind of given this opportunity, WWE hiring me to be their headlining musical act, yeah, man, I mean, it's going to be awesome. MetLife Stadium, 80,000 plus people coming out to see the Elias concert. It's going to be good.
when you have an opportunity like you've got, right, where you're one of you're the headlining musical act of WrestleMania.
Thank you.
But you get segments every week on TV. Uh-huh. Clearly, the act is working in the sense that you get big crowd reactions every time you go out. Like, everything is going well,
right,
and the company's behind it.
Yep.
is there that thing inside of you that goes like, oh my God, I'm going to do something to screw this up? Oh my God, this is all going to end.
Well, I try to be prepared for like any and all situations they throw at me, right? Whatever segment it might be on television or whatever it might be in front of the crowd, I just try to make the best of whatever comes my way. As long as I'm doing that, man, if I screw up, if I mess up, you know what? That's life. It happens, and I'll deal with it when that happens.
Because you were kind of thrown in, a lot of guys, they come up from WWE's developmental system, which is NXT, and they come on the main roster with the character that they were doing there.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, it doesn't work. It doesn't click with the audience. It just doesn't have the same sort of, I don't know if emphasis is the right word, but it just doesn't work as well as it did on NXT. And,
Sure.
and you watch guys that you go, oh, they thought this was going to go really well, and they're kind of lost out there.
And it doesn't do well when everyone sees it.
It doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't. It just happens. Why do you suppose that the Elias character breaks that rule and actually has worked, and you're way bigger now than you ever were down there?
No, absolutely. I guess a couple things. One, I feel like they only got me in a small dose on NXT, right? They only saw me here and there, whereas on Monday Night Raw in front of the world, I get to really express myself and kind of show the things I can do. Secondly, from a character standpoint, it was like a natural evolution, right? I was the drifter in NXT, kind of this, traveling musician, more or less. And then here I am, I landed on Monday Night Raw. Now you're a rock star. Now I'm a rock star.
Right.
And, it's the spotlight. It's bigger. This is what it should be. So, those two things and just an incredible will to succeed on my own part has made me that.
Do you prefer singing about songs about towns and why they suck or why they're great? Because you've gone back and forth. Good guy Elias goes out there and he's like, oh, I love this town and here's a song about it. And then one week you just show up and you're like, wait, I just remembered.
Hold on. Yeah, I got to stop you real quick.
Yeah, please do.
I would love for you to go back and find me saying, I love this town. Let me sing a song about it. That's not the case. Now, if you're referring to I don't think you're going to find one of those. Now, if you're referring to this like short time span where I was perceived as a good guy.
Sure, people were cheering
on TV. Well, people cheer. People love Elias. Good, bad, no matter what you want to label it as.
Oh, I see.
But that was just a test. I was just testing people, okay? I was going to say, you know what? If I'm not so mean for a little while, do you give me all the respect and admiration that I deserve?
I see.
And they let me down, so I said, you know what? Nope.
Forget it.
I'm done being a nice guy.
Right. I'm back to telling you how much your town sucks.
Exactly.
I see. That makes sense.
Isn't it fun to say that to people?
It's the best.
Isn't it fun? It's the best. To tell them how shitty they are, how awful the place they live in is. It really is great.
It is.
You should see how mad people get when a guy goes up there, he's got a guitar, and he starts singing about how bad their football team is. Oh, they hate it. They just
really trigger a lot of people with certain things.
It's got to feel good, too, when you go up there, especially because you know that on some level they love you. When you can figure out how to make those people when you go out there and they're cheering you, and then you actually get them to boo you based on what you're saying, that's got to feel amazing.
Sure, yeah. Well, I'm just, I just play with the crowd, right? I would take them up or down, whatever I got to do. But do you remember the incident in Seattle by chance?
Of course.
Okay, that was like such a moment where I wasn't even saying anything for maybe 6 or 7 minutes, and they're just nonstop screaming, booing as loud as they can with all of their heart, and I'm just sitting there.
What was it? It was like one line that you started with, right? That just stopped everybody in their tracks?
Yes, it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense for there to be a basketball team in Seattle.
Right.
So, and for whatever reason, they must be diehard, classic Supersonic fans or something.
So when something like that happens, right, and they go like, oh my God, listen to this reaction.
Yeah.
You just have to know, because it's not like they tell you, okay, you're going to go out there, you're going to insult the town and say they shouldn't have a basketball team, and then they're going to boo you for 6 minutes. Like that would be the most insane wishful thinking in the world. No. Do you just have to go, I'm just going to sit in this for as long as humanly possible and trust that the production people in the back are just slowing everything down and allowing this to happen?
Well, yes and no. That's a tough balance. You know what I mean? That crowd was just so overwhelming, so powerful that it's like, I'm not even going to try to power through this. You know what I mean?
Because theoretically, you're not supposed to go 6 minutes in that moment.
No, yeah, and I get yelled at all the time for how much time I take up on television, but in the end, they know it is good television.
Right.
So, it's like that balance right there.
You get yelled at for taking too much time, and then the next week they're like, okay, we got you in this segment and that segment and this segment over here.
The best too is when you get there, you find out what do you guys have pride in, and then you're going to attack it.
That's often a question I'll ask the locals. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Don't you wish you could do that as a stand-up? Like that it wasn't like you could go up there and just insult a town?
Oh,
like
it's
just
nothing better. Your team sucks. Because it bothers people on a visceral level. I don't know why it bothers people when you insult their town or you insult their team, but people really get upset about that shit.
Well, you grow up in the city and you're just everybody supports a certain cause and it's a good feeling and things like that, and then you have somebody come by and say everything you believed in is just garbage. They get upset,
especially when you're an outsider. You're way bigger than they are, right?
Yep.
You got a sparkly scarf on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just everything is just this guy is not the guy that should be telling me how to live and that everything I know. I mean, you remember Jim and I did a show that we won't say what the show was, but it was a show that was centered in a bar that needed help. And when we went in and the people realized that we were associated with that show and that it wasn't necessarily portraying their local bar in the best light, everybody in that place hated us.
Yeah.
They hated us.
We walked back in, I got a little boo. The woman yelled at us while we were shooting a wraparound segment or whatever it was. At the end, she fucking booed and yelled at us. It was like, what are you doing?
And it's like but they felt like their local thing was being insulted by outsiders.
It may be a total rat-infested dump, but it's our rat-infested.
Exactly.
Don't you dare bring that to light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like family. Like you sit around insulting your family, and then some other guy goes, "Yeah, he
your
sucks."
wife is fat.
Yeah.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Why would you say that? Is that your favorite moment that you've had so far being in WWE, or was it? I mean, you've had a lot. Last year at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, you did your musical performance, and you were interrupted by John Cena. Is that correct?
Right. Yeah.
That's huge.
That was big. Yeah. Now the thing is, I stole Undertaker's moment.
Right.
And then,
which is also like massive.
Yes. Yeah. Right. And then John Cena kind of came and he took my moment. So.
Right.
But man, I've had so many amazing moments. The Seattle one just stands out because it was just a big television moment. But the live events I do and traveling overseas, some of these crowds, they're just so passionate. It's so fun to be in front of.
How did John Cena interrupt you? Was that a mistake? He didn't realize you were playing?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably that. I'm out there singing and playing. And he just randomly decides, okay, I'm going to go out there. And by the time he's out there, it's too late.
Right.
You got to do something.
Right. Yeah, you always wonder, why would they make this mistake? They put on John Cena's music. I'm playing right now.
Why would you do this?
Yeah.
Do you sit there? So you grew up a wrestling fan, obviously.
Yes.
You wanted to be. Yeah. So do you sit there as a guy who grew up a wrestling fan after something like that and go, oh my God, when you run down this segment, it's Undertaker, John Cena, and Elias. That's what this segment was. Like, do you just kind of sit back at moments like that and go, Jesus Christ, this happened?
I mean, I'm aware of it. I'm definitely aware of like where I'm at, what my career has done, the things and stuff I've seen, but it's so on to the next thing. You know what I mean? So it's like you do WrestleMania and man, whatever that'll be, awesome. But guess what? Monday Night Raw is the next night. Let's go do that. And then guess what? We're on the road again, and now we got 2 weeks in Europe or whatever it is. So I try to enjoy it just every second, even every second that I'm out there live and doing it, and take it in when I'm done, and then it's on to the next thing.
Right. Then you're also always kind of thinking about what's now and also what's tomorrow.
Absolutely.
There's always a what's tomorrow.
Yep.
Do you work out more than 3 times a week?
Yes.
That's probably what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, I was looking at the two of us. I was like, okay, that's...
Yeah, and do you drink like soda and eat shitty McDonald's?
I do not. No, I don't mess with that too much. Yeah.
That's a little dietary tip. Okay, let me write that one down.
Sure.
That's another difference.
Sam has been working out 3 times a week though.
Nice.
I have 3 times a week, 45 minutes at a clip. So
man, yeah,
I think pretty soon you and I will be right along the same
lines.
lines.
Off or something. I got you.
No major dietary changes. But we go, baby
well, you got to
steps.
start small.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're doing the right things.
Right. I mean, I'm sure, did you start small or did you just dive right into it? Like, I'm just going to start lifting weights and eating tremendous amounts of food.
I mean, that is kind of a moment that I had right there, but I started small just as well. It was just back when I was a teenager.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what do you eat right, to get all those calories? Can you eat whatever you want because
No, definitely not. I mean, it's going to sound so boring, but I eat a lot of chicken and steak, and I love sushi, so I'm big on sushi. Fruits, vegetables, trying to have like a well-rounded meal. See, it's just boring. Nobody wants to hear that.
But I ate like a grilled chicken breast for dinner last night. Do you think I'm on the right track?
Yeah, I mean, that's it, man.
Sure.
What else you need?
Do you eat more than one a day?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, all right.
Sure.
So
again,
the
small
quantities.
steps. You're doing great.
Okay. That makes sense to me. How many grilled chicken breasts would you eat in a day?
Maybe 3 to 4, something. That's just a portion of my day for sure.
And that's just.
I like to start the day off maybe 10 to 12 eggs.
Oh my
get
God.
all that stuff in that way.
Okay.
And then, move on to the chicken, then the steak, then the sushi. That's an ideal day.
So what do you do before you're a wrestler making a ton of money that can afford to buy a dozen eggs for breakfast every morning and eat like this? When you're just a kid with a dream who wants to get big, and then you start to get big, but you get big before you get rich and famous. How do you figure out how to afford like eating a week's worth of food every single day?
Well, for me, I had like a side job and I was pretty broke with it, right? So just doing what I had to do to get where I had to get. So
that's so not fun to have a job and all your money just goes to breakfast.
Food.
Yeah, it just goes to food.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you eat the eggs? 12 eggs a day?
Over
Does that seem like a lot?
man. I'm just shoveling them in.
Oh, you
shoveling
make them?
in. No. I'll go wherever. On the road, I definitely can't make anything. I gotta buy everything.
So you'll pop into like a deli or something and go, I need 12 eggs?
Yeah, like a big Cracker Barrel guy on the road for sure. Cracker Barrel, 11, 12 eggs over medium for sure. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's amazing. That's amazing, yeah. And I guess, has it become easier? I feel like there's more people that are health conscious and kind of aware of different people's nutrition in terms of eating on the road and figuring it out.
I don't know, easier. I mean, in terms of like there's more knowledge out there and things like, yeah, for sure. It's never totally easy to make the right decisions. Because you're always going to have like, there's the gas station, there's Wendy's, there's whatever, you know what I mean? And so it's really about just making the right decisions.
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of times I'll be driving past a Wendy's and I'll go like, yeah, that'd be a good stop. I should just pop in there. Yeah. And then I do.
Yeah.
It's difficult to choose not to do that. Yeah.
No, Wendy's is great. I just, you can't always be eating that if you're trying to be in shape.
I have a good time. I do well with food. I make great food decisions. It's with condoms that I go wrong.
Okay. So everybody has their thing.
But also not the healthiest choice in the world.
No, exactly.
It's a poor choice. Right. But I do feel like I think where the discipline kicks in is whenever I do anything physical, I feel like, okay, I'm entitled to a reward now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a dangerous mentality.
Right. Like I've worked out, so I've burned all those calories, so I'm entitled to a treat now.
Yeah, of course.
And when you're living the lifestyle that you live, you're always doing something physical. So if that's the mentality you have, you're going like,
you're always treating yourself.
Just treats for days, no problem.
Sounds great.
Right.
It sounds great. Yeah.
But it doesn't add up. Because if you get as big as you are, and then you start eating whatever you want, you get fat real quick, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have a feeling, if I let myself go for a week or 2 weeks or whatever it is, like, yeah, it would show for sure.
You ever fantasize about that? Just going like, you know what if I just gave up and just allowed myself to become a big fat guy?
Oh, all
you
the
do.
time.
You think about that, Jim?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be great?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Just let go, man. No worries.
Right.
Yeah, you got it.
Like you think about those guys like that have movie roles where I had to gain like 40 pounds for this movie role where I just had to be a fat guy.
Yeah.
Like it sounds amazing. It sounds incredible.
Maybe the next evolution of Elias will be like overweight Elias just kind of sitting on the stool and playing guitar.
Yeah, once you get older, you can be a washed up rock star.
Yeah.
And you got to be kind of fat then, right?
It's kind of natural anyways, right?
Yeah.
So,
Has anyone done that? Like a fat or dumpy, washed up character?
On purpose? I don't think so. No.
Yeah. I think characters have become fat and dumpy and washed up, but I don't know if
not on purpose
if they portrayed themselves. But I'd be into it. Who did you grow up watching, and liking?
Man. I mean, Jake the Snake, Macho Man, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Kurt Angle. I'm moving up towards the more current generation, but yeah, I mean, Shawn Michaels was my all-time favorite. Macho Man, of course, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. I could just list every wrestler if you'd like me to.
Yeah, I liked all of them.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, and honestly, yeah, I did. Those are my select few. You know what I mean? Like I loved Eddie Guerrero, and so I'll keep going. Yeah, cut me off.
Did you do a bunch of wrestling before you got to WWE?
I was in the independent scene for maybe 4.5, 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for sure. And the whole time I was trying to get to WWE.
That was the whole reason for being.
Oh yeah, that was the goal from the beginning. Yep.
Dave in the Bronx says he used your warm-up routine. What's going on, Dave?
What's going on, Sam? No, I saw his warm-up routine from the Celtic Warrior workouts, and I started doing that before my workouts, and I did a complete body transformation. Like, I'm 217 now. Oof, sorry, I'm very nervous. 217, like, with abs, which is really hard. But, yeah, his warm-up of just, like, the stretching and
the dynamic stuff. Yeah, of course. I remember it, man. That's fantastic that you were able to take that, see that video, and it touched your life like that, dude. And you've transformed. 217. I don't know where you were at before, but it sounds like you must have lost some weight and gotten really great shape. So good, man. I'm glad what I put out there could help in some way like that.
What's the warm up? What is it?
It starts with a bunch of, I guess, calisthenics, dynamics, skipping, scooping, hip open, stretching, things like that. Just really gets the blood flowing and your body primed for exercise.
That guy was nervous talking to you. Do you ever get? Isn't it weird when people are nervous talking to you?
Yeah, I feel for them because there was a time in my life where I can imagine, I met Shawn Michaels, my all-time favorite when I was 15, and I was just beyond nervous.
Right.
So,
how did he treat you?
Great.
It was nice.
He was very, very cool, and I told him, I said, you make me want to be a wrestler. That was I had to tell him that.
You just look at you, it's never going to happen, kid. Keep moving.
But, so whenever people are, nervous or whatever, they don't know what to say or do, I understand. You know what I mean? So it's a little uncomfortable at times, but I do understand, and I feel for him.
So you do the independents for 4 or 5 years, then you end up in NXT, which is primarily based in Florida, but does some travel.
Yeah.
Not WWE level travel, but does...
No, but they do road shows. Yes.
You get to WWE, where, it's nothing but travel all the time.
Yeah.
And just show. And like you said, the pace that the stories are moving and the things that you're doing are moving is, it's insane. It's like nothing else in entertainment.
Yep.
What was kind of the biggest shock or what left you kind of the most okay, I gotta get used to this and I gotta get used to it now?
Man, it's that's kind of I do get that question sometimes, but it's weird because as a fan of wrestling, I wasn't just watching Monday Night Raw and then I was tuning out the rest of the week. I'm studying what it's about,
right?
So nothing is really catching me off guard here. You know what I mean? I kind of knew, it's a total grind and you're traveling all the time and it takes its toll. And you know what I mean? So, and television, live television, it's a crazy environment, but it's not totally caught me off guard. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah.
Isn't the live element great though? Because there's no net. So if you fuck up, that's just it. There's something great about that.
Live performing. There's just exactly. You just said it right there.
Yeah. It's over. You don't have to go back and try to touch it up. It's whether you did it right or you did it wrong.
Yeah.
All we can do is think about what we're doing next time anyway.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you got into and you were okay, I know how this works, or I have a pretty good idea how this works, and then you saw it firsthand and you said, this is totally different?
Man, again, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Of course, it's just, I catch myself in moments where I'll get stressed out or I'll get angry or whatever it may be because of the whole process. And then I catch myself and go, oh yeah, this is what I do. You know what I mean? This is all a part of it. So
yeah, this is just part of the gig.
Yeah.
I guess you have to maintain that philosophy, right? Regardless of what, this, it's not you're brought here just to jump in a ring, wrestle, punch in, punch out, and you're done. This is a whole lifestyle of a job.
Definitely not that, man. Even if we get a day off, it's not I'm just checked out. I'm living it all the time.
Do you like when the celebrities are around? When you got Colin Jost and Michael Che that are going to be in the Andre Battle Royal at WrestleMania, and they're involved with Braun Strowman and whatnot? Or do you prefer when it's let's concentrate on the wrestlers that have been here?
Yeah, I'm always for focusing on the talent that we have and making them the best we can and making them be the biggest deal we can. If a celebrity comes in and it's going to help elevate or bring more people or more eyes on the product, then yeah, let's do it. I'm game for it. Let's make it great somehow. You know what I mean? So, so I go back and forth on if I think it's good or not.
But as long as it goes back to the talent that is there night in, night out, then that's when you like it.
Yeah, listen, if Colin Jost and Michael Che come in and we're all about just let's make those guys look great and then move on, that don't do anything for anybody as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
But if they come in and it makes Braun Strowman look great and more people see WWE and it's a good interaction, okay, cool.
Wouldn't you like to throw a celebrity around? Wouldn't that be nice?
They just put them in their place, right? Yeah.
Bradley Cooper came in to promote A Star Is Born or something like that, and you just got to smash something over his face.
No, I would love if he came in.
Yeah.
Now he's like playing guitar and singing and stuff, right?
Right.
That would be all right.
You know what I don't like? That Bradley Cooper does that, right? And everybody's acting like he's a real singer now.
Yeah.
And I'm going, I don't see what's the difference between an actor who can, because it's not like he's this amazing singer-songwriter. He can pull off singing. I don't see what's the difference between an actor that can do that and a guy like Elias who's a wrestler that's been doing that this whole time. Nobody was making this big commotion.
Well, that is the stigma around WWE. You know what I mean? If it's on WWE TV, people are going to think it's just all, I don't know.
It's a goof.
Yeah, it's just all a goof, whatever.
Yeah.
But, anybody that really knows the product, they know there's a lot of talent on that show, a lot of talent on our roster. And, it's really unlike any other form of entertainment.
Have you met anybody that's been like, I'm a huge fan of what you do, and you're like, what the hell, you?
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen.
No.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was great, man.
What did he say? He said, like, I'm a fan?
He said, hey, man, I know what WWE stands for.
Did he really?
So I was like, dude, great.
Where did you meet him?
Great. Listen, I was in New York, filming my documentary at the time. We were doing something at the Garden. He was there. It was a brief interaction, but man.
But the fact that he knew even who you were and appreciated it enough that he knew the catchphrase,
of course,
is like enormous.
Yes, right. And I love Bruce Springsteen and have my whole life. So to have that right there is very cool.
Do you think sometimes about like figuring out how you can take the Elias character that like is kind of an attraction, right? In the sense that you're performing, you're singing, you're doing it's there's an act here and moving it so that you can be the person who's main eventing against Brock Lesnar or somebody like that.
Yeah, and I really think that's just a matter of opportunity kind of coming my way, which I'm ready for when the opportunity comes, I'll be ready for that. So I don't know how it's viewed otherwise, but for me, I think it's just a matter of switching gears,
and just being ready for all of it.
Yeah.
Do you have nights where you're like, this went terribly, I shouldn't be doing this?
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't necessarily for the whole room. But okay, that's good to know. Because I think like no matter how long any of us are doing it, whatever we do, some days we leave going,
boy, do I stink.
Oh my God, I'm terrible.
Everybody is probably their own harshest critic, right?
Yeah.
So there's definitely elements of that where we want to make everything great. Yeah.
Anybody who's good, like people who go, no, that really doesn't occur to me. I'm just, I go out there and I'm confident in everything that I do. You're probably not that good then. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
I feel like people who are their own harshest critics.
Yeah.
Are generally the ones that end up being better off for it.
Makes sense.
I mean, it's torture, but they're better off for it.
Yeah.
Jim, that does occur to you sometimes?
Yeah. A lot. You're in the wrong business. Shit. Yeah.
You think so?
Oh yeah. A lot of times.
Have you started writing for your WrestleMania music? I mean, the last pay-per-view, I thought it was pretty exceptional because you ended up. What'd you have, like 3 segments at the last pay-per-view?
I had 4.
4,
actually.
Where it was like interstitials, where it was almost like Elias was there with his guitar, explaining the story of the night as we went on.
Sing a song about whatever just occurred.
Yeah.
Talk about the city a little bit, and then move on, and then have another, one of those later on in the night or whatever. So that was super fun. Yes, I've got ideas for WrestleMania for sure.
And do you do a lot of your own writing?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's like when it comes down to the music and things like that, there's only so many, people that could help you with that kind of thing, so a lot of these words are just coming from my head, man.
Have people presented you, like writers, whoever it is, presented you songs that go like, I was thinking this could be your song, and it goes like da 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 da, and you're like, what the? I'm not gonna sing this.
You know what? No, because right off the bat, when I get to Monday Night Raw, they kind of understand that it's different, right? So they'd rather come to me and see, what does Elias want to say? What does he want to do? What's the music like? And then they can help from that point on. So there's always ideas being thrown in the mix, but nobody's insulted me in that that fashion there where they come up with a crazy song.
You would take it as an insult, though.
Oh, yeah.
You'd be like, you have no idea what I do, do you?
What are you thinking, right? Get out of here right now. Yeah.
Who is your, if you could say, like, okay, we are going to do something, we're giving you a match at Wrestlemania, Elias, who do you want the match to be with?
Man, the guys that I messed with last year, John Cena, The Undertaker, just those guys are big time WrestleMania names, and at WrestleMania, that's where you want to be, right in the big time, right there. So that's it for sure. When
you came on board and real quick started getting a lot of camera time and started getting your own segments and all this stuff, and it was going well, so you got more and more. Did you get side eyes from people that have been there a while and maybe weren't getting those opportunities, going, who's this guy? Where'd he come from and who's he think he is?
Not to my face anyways, you know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody's kind of at least seen what Elias is, and the big thing is the crowd reactions, right? It's like almost, you can't deny that. So even if you're sitting there and you're going like, man, this guy's only been here 6 months or a year and I've been here 5, it's hard to deny what you're seeing. You know what I mean? So,
right. If it's working, it's working.
Yeah, right. And I think everybody kind of understands that. And like I said, to my face, it's all been cool. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was otherwise.
Jim, have you been convinced to start walking with Elias?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems
as soon as I walked in here, it's like, yes, I'm on board.
I understood.
I'm ready to walk with this dude right now, wherever. Well, WrestleMania, of course, happens Sunday, 7 p.m. 5 p.m. is when the kickoff show starts. Eastern time. 7 p.m. is when the granddaddy of them all starts on the WWE network. It's going to be, I think there are a few tickets still available for MetLife Stadium. They just opened up. I think I got an email where they had opened up new. So check. I don't know for sure. Or it might have been one of those Ticketmaster like secondary market emails. I don't know. But check and find out, because WWE, we're at MetLife Stadium on Sunday. Of course, the Hall of Fame is at Barclays on Saturday. NXT TakeOver is Barclays on Friday. Raw and SmackDown next Monday and Tuesday at the Barclays.
Get ready. It's a whole big thing.
It's amazing. Well, I'm glad you're here, Elias. Thank you for coming by.
Yeah.
And good luck on Sunday, man.
Thank you guys for having me.
For sure. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thank you to Elias for stopping by. Jim had to go home. He was feeling queasy. He finally took a half a sick day. I think that's the right move. You go home, because otherwise you're just, these illnesses just stretch out forever. I've been slamming for the last, I'd say, 24 hours. As much emergency as I can handle.
That's just a treat for you, though, right?
Of course. I just love emergency so much. Vitamin C supplements are just my little treat for myself.
So this is a half day for Jim, right? We're not crediting him with a full day?
Absolutely not. No.
Pay?
No.
Okay.
Pay-wise.
Half day.
Half day, and technically, since I'm still here, I would get his half.
So you get 1.5 days.
I get 1.5 days, and he gets a half day. I think that fair is fair. That's
fair.
That's really all we can do here. And it might not be fair, but I was planning on doing the Better Come to our new Better Come to Church cover right now.
Better find a church. Jeez, it's like you're not.
What did I say? Better come to church.
Better come to church. It's like he's not even a fan, Troy.
I know.
I am not. Yeah. That is exactly how it should be perceived. No, I am not a fan of the original. We'll just have to play it again for Jim next week, because I don't want to stretch it out a whole another week before we get to play this thing. We've been obsessed with JD and the Straight Shot pretty much ever since James Dolan kicked that Knicks fan out of the building because he said sell the team. He banned a Knicks fan from ever attending Madison Square Garden as a fan ever again. So, interest in James Dolan kicks up, as does interest in JD and the Straight Shot. Now, I thought when we first started talking about this that they were nowhere, that this band just wasn't anywhere. But you forget, James Dolan has a lot of connections, because it seems like when I go on social media and check Twitter mentions and whatnot, everybody is seeing them pop up, whether it's on different channels on Sirius that are not playing them, ironically, whether it's wherever it is. JD and the Straight Shot is popping up in people's lives, and it makes you wonder. It's one of those things that you realize maybe JD and the Straight Shot has been around this whole time, and we just weren't paying attention. You sit there and you just take it for granted the whole time, and the minute that you put a spotlight on it, well, that's the minute that we're going to notice it every time. If we could familiarize everybody, do we have the original Better Find a Church? I'd like to play...
Troy will have to play that. Sure.
Yes, I'd like to play the original. Of course, JD, James Dolan, decided to take all of his New York sports money. He owns the Knicks, he owns the Rangers, he owns Madison Square Garden. And, he's like Elias. Elias wanted to be a wrestler, but he happens to be a great musician as well. James,
I walk with JD.
You walk with JD in the Straight Shot?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's very insulting to poor Elias. He was just in here. He was a great guest. He was nice.
Say I don't walk with Elias.
You walk with both.
If they're both on the sidewalk, I'm going to go walk with JD.
All right. Okay. You got to make your choices in life. I respect you for making a choice.
Yeah, at least I'm consistent.
With JD in the Straight Shot.
Yep.
As far as JD in the Straight Shot goes, yes, Travis, you are nothing if not consistent. So JD decides it's not enough to be a team owner and an arena owner, and I think he owns the Forum in LA too. It's not enough to be a billionaire. I'm a musician, damn it. So let me hire a bunch of musicians to perform with me. And like we've said from the beginning, the musicians are good. The girl he has harmonizing with him, they're all good. It's JD. JD is what is going to bring down the Straight Shot, in my personal opinion. This is the song we became obsessed with, Better Find a Church. We're getting it in everybody's head again.
Better find a church.
Travis is moving to it in the other room.
Better find it soon.
Oh my God.
Better search through the night by the light of a sinner's moon.
I think it had been just enough time that it was starting to leave people's heads, and now it's right back.
Yep, I'd agree with that, because it was in my head this weekend. But maybe like the last day or two, it's left.
But just me saying, I think I'm going to do the JD and the Straight Shot thing after break, or when we get back from break.
Right back.
Yeah, you and Rob were both saying, now the song's in my head.
Specifically the Faceplants version.
That's the one that gets stuck in your head.
That one gets stuck in my head.
Well, I believe that Troy dubbed the Faceplants version very adequately, correctly, as what the song probably should have sounded like originally.
Right.
The Faceplants decided to take the song and actually add musicianship to it.
Yeah, they polished it.
Yeah, they actually made it seem like some musicians were putting it together. And it really is incredible, because when JD sings it, the lyrics seem like a kid wrote it in crayon. But when the Faceplants sing it, it seems like it's a real song. Like, do you have the Faceplants version? Yeah. So that's JD in the Straight Shot version. We had the Faceplants. So people became so obsessed with this song, they started sending in their covers. All of our musical associates with the show wanted to take a stab at being legends themselves, because I think JD and the Straight Shot have kind of cemented their legendary status. Is that right, Travis?
I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here is the Faceplants version of Better Find a Church. Dude, it's so catchy.
So good.
Great.
It's such a good job of it.
Better find a church.
It's like sung well.
Better find it soon.
I mean, they're both sung well.
I would only half agree with what you just said.
Different strokes.
Pretty universal. Here it comes. That's where it kicks. We should have had Elias do a version. I wonder if I can get that done. I'd like to hear an acoustic version by Elias. Okay. So there's the Faceplants. incredible version. I am going to hit up WWE PR and see and send them the lyrics and see if we can get. Although they might not want to get involved because I'm sure, James Dolan owning arenas, them being in the arena business, they probably don't want any part of that. But we'll see.
No harm in asking.
What could it hurt to ask? What are they going to say? No, that'd be fine. Then we have, of course, the dance remix by Black Caviar.
That's right.
That was a big hit too. We want it to cross genres is the thing. We want everybody to be able to appreciate JD and the Straight Shot. So here is the Black Caviar version.
Better find a church.
They kept the integrity they kept James Dolan as the vocalist.
Better search through the night by the light of a sinner's moon. And you better confess, get it off your
It does make me want to do Molly. I do want to do drugs.
I understand that.
Yeah.
things that you did.
There it is. Now, Troy, as a founding member of Black Caviar, helped produce this song, of course. Were you insulted that JD and the Straight Shot retweeted the Faceplants version, but not the Black Caviar version?
A little, yeah. Because I mean, it's a different interpretation,
right? It wasn't. This isn't a negative,
right?
But why? You don't have to pick such clear favorites. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me though. I mean, they seem like musical purists.
I see. And you kind of say that as to say, we say purists, but we really mean snobs.
Snobs, yeah. And it's like, everything they do is very organic instruments. So, they probably look at computer music as this isn't music. What they're doing is real music. So,
which is a stretch.
Yeah. It's 2019. You know what I mean?
Right.
You use computers.
And, let's be honest. It's James Dolan. He's not a musician.
Exactly.
Right. Just because you're singing a song doesn't mean you're performing, right?
Right.
But we've gone a step further now. We now have ready to debut for the first time here on Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. We're stepping into another genre of music. We have the Faceplants. We have Black Caviar. Now, we have the Jamey Jasta version. The Jamey Jasta version, and we were teasing it over the weekend. I know people were getting frustrated that we hadn't gotten to it yet. That's why today I said it's crucial. We must get to it. Should we just go for it? Are we ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay. I have not heard this song in its entirety.
You're going to love it.
I would love to hear what his interpretation of Better Find a Church was. Jamey Jasta, friend of the show, lead singer of the band Hatebreed, and now an artist behind. And this is not a Hatebreed song. This is a Jamey Jasta
This is
song.
Jamey Jasta.
Okay. Here it is, Jamey Jasta's interpretation of Better Find a Church.
Better find a church. Better find it soon. Better search through the night by the light of the sinner's moon. Better find a church. Get on your knees. Pray for a dance to the death with someone of a life. And you better confess. Get it off your
yeah.
Give yourself some rest while you still have one left. Cause even you gotta live with the things that you did. Secrets you hid. Heaven forbid that the devil gets word. Better find a church.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's fucking
awesome.
Great.
That is awesome. Sometimes Jamey Jasta's in here and you're just talking to him and just shooting the shit with him and you forget.
You really do,
He's
right?
an incredible talent.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like the voice on this guy, you can't believe. As I'm hearing Jamey Jasta sing that song, I'm going, I don't know that guy. I talk to Jamey Jasta all the time, just having conversations. I don't know the guy singing that song.
Jamie's the man.
That's incredible. What a rendition.
Very sludgy. Very stompy.
And that breakdown there, where the drums kick in, oh, that's great stuff. I wonder if that'll get a retweet from JD in the Straight Shot.
We'll see. We'll post it later on Twitter.
We will post it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and they're all the versions, I think, as we interrupt, as we're listening and whatnot, I think all the versions are available on our YouTube channel as well.
Yes.
I think so. And we'll put up Jamey Jasta's as well coming up very, very shortly.
And if JD was smart, he'd put out a remix package.
Of course, we've done it all the work for him.
Everything's done.
We did it all for him. We're just obsessed. Lucky for JD and also lucky for the Straight Shot. We're obsessed with them and the fact that they exist and the effort and money that is being put into this operation is incredible. I don't know where we go from here. After Jamey Jasta, we'll see if we can get anything from Elias. But, you know, if any of you guys want to submit anything, go ahead. But I could understand. I think that there's a degree of intimidation going on. Because, you know, these aren't exactly fan submissions. These are professional musician submissions, all trying to just, I don't know, live off that inspiration that JD and the Straight Shot provides. Where does that rank for you, Travis, on your top 3? As much as, you know, they're all separate artistic renditions, you know.
It's so hard.
It's tough to say any one is better than the other because that's what I love.
That they celebrate the entire catalog.
Exactly. They all 3 offer so much on so many different levels, and all 3 offer so much more than the original. But if you had to, Travis.
If I had to? Jeez. Troy's not going to like me.
I think Troy understands that the electronical musical genre...
I don't know if that's the exact technical term.
That's what EDM stands for.
Electronical?
Electronical musical genre.
All right. Well, you know what? That's just showing my age.
Yes. You
I
do
didn't know that.
You do sound a little old right now. But the electronical musical genre, it's not everybody's cup of tea. Like if you didn't vote Black Caviar as the number 1 or even the number 2, it might be because you're not in the club dancing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to put that at number 3, even though I really like it.
But let's be honest, you grew up with metal, right? So
yeah,
maybe you have an affinity for it.
I like, you know, the punk rock, the rock and roll.
Exactly.
I think I would still put Faceplants on top because I agree with Troy. That's the way that song should have been.
You know what? I think
written and recorded.
I think that my ranking system looks a lot like yours.
Yeah.
And that's not because Black Caviar's is worse than or better or whatever. It's just genre-wise, you kind of have to put it there. I think that also Black Caviar was probably the furthest outside the box.
Yeah.
So,
can I give you my
your ranking? Yes.
Yeah. I think Jamey's first. I probably like that one the best.
It's tough to argue that. Yeah. Jamey's did an amazing job. And that's the other thing too that you know, just because we're so used to music, when you've got somebody else singing the song, you're instantly going to go, whoa. You know what I mean? There's somebody singing that song.
Yeah.
People haven't caught up with the electronical musical genre yet.
Is that what the problem is?
I think so.
People are still catching on to it?
In my opinion,
okay.
People haven't quite caught up to where we are with.
It's weird because it's been around for a long time.
Well, it's been on the outskirts, you know? It's like, I mean, you know, what really has been trouble for that genre of music,
the electronical
genre, is the second Matrix.
Oh.
And how, you know, EDM did destroy the Matrix trilogy. And that's tough. That's a tough hole to dig yourself out of. People saw the first Matrix, they got super excited. They go, I can't wait for the second and the third. They go for the second one, they go, I don't know about this. And then the rave scene kicks in, and they go, fuck this, you know? Yeah. And so, and that, I think that hurt electronical music a lot.
Yeah, is that where electronical music jumped the shark?
I think so. And it's been digging its way out of that hole ever since, which is tough.
Yeah.
But you know what? You're a pioneer, Troy.
Just doing the best I can.
Yeah, well, you deserve a lot of credit and a lot of respect.
I think it's funny that a band that Troy and I both probably saw, 20 years ago at local hardcore shows.
Hatebreed?
Yeah. Is now the lead singer is doing a cover of a stupid song on our stupid radio
show. For our show?
I think
it's awesome.
Hilarious.
It's awesome. James in Texas has a bit of an observation. What's up, James?
Yeah, hey guys, I just noticed that the first part of the chorus has the same cadence as the Dukes of Hazzard theme.
Huh.
I can't unhear it now. I noticed it one day, and now I can't unhear it.
Yeah, I do feel like, thank you, James, I do feel like there's a lot of elements of Better Find a Church that are derivative of other songs, and maybe it's just because we've listened to it so many times, but I think part of that is because, everybody hears their own little bits and pieces. Let's hear a little Good Old Boys.
Just a good old boy.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Yeah, me too.
A little bit.
I say cadence.
The light of the dinner moon.
Yep, I hear it.
And you better confess. Yeah, okay.
It's all that, the first little part.
I get what he's saying. I get it. Should we take a break and then maybe bring in our guest and then, because I kind of also want to play the new hit single R.I.P. Harambe.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think that do you think our guest would enjoy that? Do you think that we should do it with him?
You know what? I think that's a good thing to do, yeah.
Okay, then we'll take another break because we're a little bit behind today. We went a little bit late with Elias. We got a whole bunch of live reads. Jim Norton went home sick. He had to leave earlier on this morning, very quickly into the show to go vomit. And he said the only thing that stopped him, he wanted to leave a couple times during the Elias interview, but he didn't want to be impolite. Which, if he had just gotten up in the middle of the Elias interview and thrown up in the garbage can, it would have been the greatest thing in the world. I mean, I don't think there's any beating that. But Jim will be in San Francisco this weekend. He does not miss gigs, if we've learned anything. So check him out in San Francisco this weekend. Nate Bargatze is coming in. We got a lot to do, so stick around. Welcome back. It's Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. Except Jim went home sick. He was about to puke. And so instead of sharing that joy with us, he did decide to go home. Which was probably the right cause. We want a healthy Jim Norton in here. He needs more rest. Don't you think Jim needs more rest? Should we bring in our guest, Nate Bargatze? Nate's here, right? Bring him on in. Nate Bargatze has a new Netflix special that's out now. It's called The Tennessee Kid. I just saw on Twitter that he bought himself a castle with a lot of the money that was made off Netflix. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And welcome, Nate.
Thank you, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, man.
How has it been now that the special is out and people are seeing it and it's there for people?
It's been great. They've been the response has been everybody's been very nice, and I've really everybody's been very nice. That's all you can hope for.
Yeah,
is not just get crushed. Because people will tell you.
Do you have that? You have to know. You don't know if it's great, right?
Yeah.
It could be good, it could be great, but you have to know if something's really that bad. That people are going to come to you and go, what the fuck was that, Nate?
Dude, bro.
Right. Watched your special. You have to kind of know that
I think you could feel, it's like anything. You could be you could feel it. If it was and I mean, the thing, you tour on the road with it. I mean, I was on the road with this act for for a year. So I was, it was, you knew it was working. And
right.
I was, you're a little confident in it.
That's probably the moment that you just decide to leave everything. When you're like, no, I was pretty sure that this was going to be a great special. And everybody is talking about how awful it is. That's when it's maybe a new profession.
That's when when you're just not aware.
Right.
Have no, I like seeing someone that has no self-awareness.
Dude, it is, I was talking to my wife about it because I'm watching that Hulu show about, that's based on the Mommy, Dead, and Dearest documentary.
Yeah.
About the girl who's got Munchausen syndrome by proxy, the mom wheels her around in a wheelchair and has her on pills all the time, and it just has her convinced that she's got every sickness imaginable, even though she doesn't. She ends up killing the mom and a whole bunch of stuff. But just watching the mom interact with people and just exist is so interesting to me. When people are either completely unaware or just chronic liars and just can't stop lying, I could watch them forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just something about that you're like, how could you be? It's almost like you're envious. How could you be this out of touch with reality?
Yeah, and not know, being oblivious to things, how people can be oblivious and just and wander around. It's
that blind confidence. Because you're still confident. Even when you're lying, if you're pathological liars are very confident people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That would be, I think it could be fun to be, I mean, not fun, but if you're pathological, really lying like that.
Yeah.
Where you can just believe it. I guess they have to believe it.
Yeah.
They get in their own head about it and it happened.
Because you can watch, because we've talked to them before. We've had interns on the show that are clearly pathological liars. And when the house of cards start to fall down, you can see you're looking at their eyes and it's not like they're going, you caught me. It's their entire system and their entire way of being is collapsing in front of them because they've been living this existence where this is just true. I just tell people this happened and it happened. And then when somebody goes, that didn't happen, it couldn't even possibly be true. And here's why. Like they don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
It's like endlessly fascinating.
They would, yeah, like knowing, like, you know how you can sometimes think of something in the past, or you get something that happened in the past, or something you can get, if you get so far away from that memory, you could be like, did that happen? I don't know.
Right.
It's like that, like, but it's all, they're doing it right.
But it just happened just
moment.
now.
It just happened now.
Or you're consciously making up a memory, but once you've made it up and you vocalized it, you're just living that truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's wonderful.
Like it's just, it seems great. Especially when there's no... my favorite is when you encounter somebody that's lying.
Yeah.
And you know they're lying and there's no reason for it. Like it doesn't make anything better. It's not an impressive thing. It's like, why?
It's like a serial killer just kills people. Like you're just why'd you kill that person? You're like, I don't know. It's fun. It's a good time. Same thing.
Right. Did it make you feel good? I mean, I get maybe in the moment, but I don't really think about it.
I don't think about it now. I've moved on now. I yesterday when I flew in, this is opposite, not to connect those two things, but I was on my flight. Al Gore was on my flight, and he's sitting behind me. And
Al Gore, some environmentalist. He still goes on planes.
Dude, he still goes. He was not on he was on a regular plane. But so I don't see his face at all. And I just saw a guy when I sit down. I don't see him sitting by me, but I see like someone like talking to him, and he's got a suit on. It was like a college kid, like, and he's like talking. He's like gives him a USB thing that's like, here's all the presentation. I don't know, like like people that have regular jobs where you're like, I don't know, like, like I don't know what anybody does.
There's like an Excel sheet presentation.
And he's like, dude, you got to say this in front of the thing, and then you're like, So I'm just hearing it, like, but it's funny I could feel like this dude's like energy behind me, like, just I don't know, like he's just. I feel like it's like a guy that's just like successful, like, and I've not seen his face yet, and I'm just feeling it. He had his foot up at one point, like I hit it with my arm, like rest, because he was like kind of came up, and I did it on purpose because I thought his foot was too close to my part. And it's just funny to get, and then I get off the plane and I see like a woman's holding a sign that says A Gore, and I was like, oh, and I turned and looked and it's him, but it's like. I don't know.
I mean, it amazes me for some reason that Al Gore, I guess there's no hiding your identity at that point, but wouldn't go under a pseudonym for a.
Well, he's like, he's quick off the flight. So she met him off the plane.
Oh, gotcha.
Like she was like,
I thought you meant down by like baggage.
No. Yeah. That's how successful he is. He's like, he has his person come inside. I like though, like you could just feel without knowing who he was until the end. Like you could feel that this dude's successful.
Yeah.
Just like you could just feel it, just him behind me.
So do you want to? Because I get to places in my life where I've tried to go like, you know what? I need to figure out how to replicate that energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If things are going well, it's not enough for things to just be going well. I need to exude that. I need the world to know that through my energy.
When you walk around, you're that.
Right.
It's a confidence thing.
Right. You just need to be cockstrong everywhere that you go.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you can fake that. I think it's either born in you or not.
They have it. Yeah, they just have it where they're, you could maybe get so, like, if you get to a level, I guess, maybe stuff that used to scare you, you don't care about. So maybe you're
there's
not
that confidence.
There's a confidence in the fact that you don't, like, you're not worried about this thing.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure when you go into a comedy club now, you have a completely different presence, energy than, a year or two into the business. Like now it's like, it's not only is it not a big deal, it's like walking into your house, right?
Yeah, well, that's it's like doing when you go do theaters now. Like now we're starting to do some theaters, and I always talk about like even how to play a theater is completely different. Like you walk on stage and the audience is there. Like, it's 1,000 people there to see you. You're not at a club that they just wandered in. They're specifically there to see you now.
Right.
And they're just how you act. Like guys do. I've never done an encore, but like guys that do encores, like how do you even do an encore? Like how do you, like why do you,
I see, because when you start doing theaters, you're so used to not having this presumption that these are all my fans here to see me. Like you're still in that mode of I've got to win people over.
I got to win people over.
But
And
realistically, you don't.
No.
Because they wouldn't come see you at a theater if they weren't already.
They're not. Yeah, they're
bought
not.
in.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it'd be great if they're just like, we just buy tickets.
We go whatever's at this theater we
it
go
would
to.
Be, yeah, we just go see whatever.
Right. I kind of thought this was like you were a musician.
Yeah.
Comedy.
Like,
yeah.
Well, interesting. All right.
Yeah, okay.
Wow. Okay.
But they go in open-minded every time.
Yeah, they're like very good people.
Yeah.
Like those would be very good people that are just like, we just like things and we like to go to things. And
love the theater. We have our
love
seats.
The theater. Yeah. Yeah. That now you go in and that they're there to see. It's a whole, and you have to act different. Like you have to, I think, you talk, you tell your jokes, I don't know, you tell them more confidently or something, or you're talking to people that know you.
But I'm in Tennessee. Yeah, we know.
Obviously.
Yeah, we know that.
I know. You get out of that stuff where people, I think, could get mad at that. They're like, yeah, dude, we know. And then you're like, sorry, I'm assuming you don't.
I'm very insecure. I'm sorry.
You guys, you don't get it. I mean,
I'm very shy. I've been through a lot of I'm sorry, guys. People are like, did we pay to see this guy?
I mean, they're paying more, and they're like,
yeah.
Act like you're supposed to be there.
Yeah. Do you? So, we've been talking a lot today about. Just before you came in, we were talking about James Dolan and his band. James Dolan, who owns the Knicks.
Oh yeah.
He's got his own band that they're terrible. We were then before that we had this wrestler on named Elias, who's also a musician, right? So he does both things, and I always kind of wonder with Elias it wasn't the case, but if for somebody like James Dolan or people like this that. If they wanted to be a musician, like they grew up wanting to be a rock star, but they end up falling into being a billionaire, which you can't say no to being a billionaire businessman.
Yeah.
But you still kind of want to be a rock star, so you put out this music. And the reason why I bring that up is because I don't know if you heard this, but this is real. Have you heard Elon Musk put out a song?
No.
Yeah, Elon Musk put out his own track.
Really?
Yes. Elon Musk, he owns Tesla.
Yeah.
Invented the flamethrower. He's doing crazy stuff. He pretended like he's
not to know. I'm like, who is it? What's Tesla?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is that cars?
Wow.
Yeah, and is Musk? Is it why not Elon Tesla? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he pretended to smoke weed on Joe Rogan. Yes. That guy.
Yes.
Yeah, he put out a song called R.I.P. Harambe, which I was really happy about because I didn't know we were still doing the Harambe thing. I didn't know that was still a meme,
Yeah.
But it is.
Yeah.
As it turns out, because he put out a dance track called R.I.P. Harambe. Now, Travis, I see you in there. Is this Elon singing on it? Auto-tuned? Is this his voice?
So,
I think it is too.
It's hard to really know because he kind of just tweeted out the SoundCloud link.
Right.
Without any other information.
And he has not, it's been a couple of days. He has not.
But I assume this is him singing.
It sounds Right. Okay. Do you want to hear a little bit of it?
Yeah.
You want to hear what Elon Musk is doing in his spare time?
I already got it on SoundCloud, but go ahead. I would love to hear it.
And we thinking about you. Sipping on some Bombay, we on the way to heaven. Amen, amen. R.I.P. Harambe, smoking on some stronger and Gorilla Zoo, and we thinking about you. All we ever do.
You know what? I'm thinking that maybe one of the reasons why he wasn't able to be an artist is because he might not have as much to say as he thinks that he does. You always encounter people that go like, I want to put out art.
Yeah.
Like, well, what do you like think about? Like, what's your passion?
Harambe?
Yes.
Yeah. Multiple times. You're like, how many times do you want to say it? I want to say it quite a bit.
Yeah. Several times.
I mean, not just one time. Yeah. I would like to do it. What can I do to say it the most times?
You mean just in the chorus?
Yeah.
No, throughout the verse as well.
He just wants to say Harambe. He doesn't know it's going to be a song. He's like, I just want to say it a lot. And they're like, well, how can we do this where it's going to be acceptable? And he's like, what about a song?
Right. He's like, if you could record me, I'll just say it a bunch. We'll put that out there.
See what happens.
Can we auto-tune it or something? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, look, I want to say Harambe. That's all I want. So whatever you want to do past that is up to you guys.
All right, let's hear some more.
About you.
We back at the zoo, man. Thinking about you, man. Where my girl is at? We miss you. We really miss you.
Oh, that was the verse. So, do musicians get insulted by this stuff? Like, would an electronic musician, because, I mean, he's allowed to do this, right? He's allowed to come out and be like, this is my music, this is it. Is that, like, insulting to people who actually
sing?
Put work into their music?
I mean, there's probably some real, I don't know.
There's gotta be somebody
I think
behind
of his
this, right?
comedy, yeah.
Yeah.
I think of his comedy, like when you have celebrities, like, do comedy. You know, like, do we get, like, mad? Or, and some of you don't care. Like, what? Like, I mean, you always look at everything. If they're affecting your audience or something, or your work or whatever, then that's the only thing that you could get, like, upset. Like, them doing, like, some shows, like Stormy Daniels did, like, a show or whatever. Whatever. Like, what do I care? Like, if she does whatever she does.
No effect on you whatsoever.
Yeah. So, like, with music, I mean, there's so many people that can do music. Everybody can do music.
But doesn't this take, like, that... I feel like the electronical music genre is so on the cusp of not being taken seriously anyway, that when people are like, the reason I don't listen to that is because anybody could do that.
Yeah.
And then the people who actually do it are like, no, it takes a lot of skill.
No, it's very hard. Then they just start playing this song.
They're like, what about R.I.P. Harambe by Elon Musk?
He goes, well... All right. Okay.
It's a solid point.
That's not,
Yeah. Troy, do you you do electronic music? Do you get insulted by this?
Not at all.
No.
It's just like a goof.
Who cares, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. The only thing that you kind of go like, you kind of roll your eyes at a little bit is like when celebrities like Paris Hilton's a DJ,
but she's super successful.
She's successful, but she didn't come up the ranks as a DJ. Somebody just basically handed her all the songs that you're supposed to play.
I see.
Taught her how to play them in this order. And that's kind of like. But, something like
that's
this.
DJing, though, right? Like, that's like that.
It all kind of ties together.
Yeah. I feel like Elon Musk, maybe this is coming off the Joe Rogan thing, because the one thing that I picked up from his Joe Rogan appearance was that you could be as rich as you want, and you could still really want people to think you're cool.
Yeah.
Like, he really wants people to think he's cool. That's why he was peer pressured into smoking weed.
Yeah.
Did you watch that clip? Yeah, Joe Rogan.
I know that I did, like, I saw it. Like,
right. I mean, that's the way we watched it on the show. Joe Rogan peer pressured a billionaire into smoking weed. And when you can be peer pressured and be a billionaire, there is that thing in you that just doesn't go away. Do you think that maybe this is just Elon Musk going, it's not enough to be a billionaire? I want to be a cool billionaire. I want the kids to like me.
You would never think he could get peer. Like, that is a funny thing to get. Like, how do you get peer pressured into? I saw what's the Wojowski or the one of the Apple guys, like
Wozniak.
Wojo is a coach, played at Duke, a basketball player. Same thing.
Yeah. Still very skilled.
Yeah. They both do. I saw him at the Laugh Factory in LA once, and he came in, and they got him on stage.
Did he want to go on stage, or did they like coerce him into getting on stage?
He feels like a guy that doesn't mind it, but they asked him to go on stage. Like, they brought up that he was there, and I mean, he's the least famous of
the Steves that created Apple. Yeah.
So he's probably just happy to get, like, he's doing just meet and greets.
Yeah. No, I feel like his existence must be somewhat torturous, because there's only one question to ask Steve Wozniak.
Yeah.
What was Steve Jobs really like?
Yeah.
It's just
like, I was there.
Yeah.
All right. I did do this stuff.
I actually did. Steve Jobs told me what to do, and then I did it. I did this. I did it.
Yeah.
But who told you what to do? Well, Steve Jobs. What was he like? Yeah. How did he? Was he wearing the turtleneck back then?
He goes, no, I was wearing the turtleneck. He wore it. I did that.
It was actually my turtleneck, and he just had.
He stretched it out.
Right. He didn't even bring a shirt that day. He's a maniac.
Just a nut job. Yeah, that is funny that he gets peer pressured into.
I think that he might just on some level still want kids to think he's cool.
And you would think that you're like, yeah, dude, they do. You put a test in space, like no one's like being like this loser,
right?
Like, oh, nerd a lot. Look who's walking in. I don't even think he's the one that figures stuff out. Like,
space car boy.
Yeah, whoa.
Yeah, you would think that once you put you create a car,
and
then you put it in space with a mannequin in it, playing David Bowie's Space Oddity. you're good. You're set. You don't need to do anything else.
You don't need to do anything.
Nothing. Even if they were like, whatever happened to that guy, you could say, oh, he launched a car in space. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah,
that's cool.
You don't need any. Nobody would say. And
did anybody else do that? No.
Exactly.
Nobody else did that. He did that.
Nobody says, what did he do after that?
Yeah.
Who cares? Right?
He did this. He played that song. He's like,
well, R.I.P. Harambe came after, yeah.
Oh, it came after? You're like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he plays in that car. We just don't know.
R.I.P. Harambe?
He just told us, like, one day he's going to go, by the way, guys, I was lying about the baby.
R.I.P. Harambe is on loop.
Yeah.
I love saying Harambe. Let's get back to it.
And we thinking about you. Harambe, R.I.P. Harambe, sipping on
This is where it gets mellow.
We thinking about you.
This is his mom walked into the room.
Harambe, we smoking on that strong. Ay, we love you, and we thinking about you.
I love reading the comments as they go through, like the people who leave comments on SoundCloud. First one is like RIP, and then Elon the icon, and then the next one is just like, give me a Tesla.
Yeah.
But that's probably what Elon hates. He's like, I want this to be about the music.
It's not about Tesla, man. Why do you bring up Tesla? Like, if he does an interview, he'd be furious if you asked for Tesla.
He's strictly promoting the single RIP.
I can't stress
Harambe.
that enough.
Yeah. Did you drive a Tesla here?
Listen to the song. Ask him questions about within the song.
He's leaving interviews like Kanye because they keep bringing up Tesla. They don't want me to be a musician.
I don't know. What is a Harambe? I don't even know what that is.
Harambe is the deceased gorilla who was shot.
Yeah.
You know, a boy. Yeah, a boy was in the.
Man, I was way off.
This happened in 2016.
The song had a whole different meaning than
I'm glad you asked.
I was just thinking it's a word, and I would have left and never asked.
I'm really glad you did. It was in 2016 in the Cincinnati Zoo. A boy jumped in the gorilla cage with a gorilla named Harambe. They couldn't get him out, so they shot the gorilla, and that led to the internet for the next. I thought it was only a year or two, but we're now approaching 3 years if this is still a thing. Saying R.I.P. Harambe as if to say, you know, you killed off a great gorilla, you know, for what? You know, everybody nobody really remembers that the kid was even in the cage at all.
Yeah,
they just miss
Harambe.
They miss Harambe.
As if they knew him before this day.
Right, of course. Well, he was a very important gorilla.
Yeah, he was born and died a day, like almost to the day.
Look at that. He had just celebrated his 16th or his 17th birthday.
17 years old.
He was 17 years old and a day.
How long do they live anyway? I don't know.
Yeah,
knows,
we didn't do the research.
Yeah,
we just know he was
17.
Murdered in cold blood.
He was shot
with no ramifications.
Gunshot wounds.
Yeah. So you can understand, this is like when people like do dedications to maybe Tupac.
Yeah.
You know, Biggie Smalls. These are guys that died of these gunshot wounds with even John Lennon. John Lennon.
Yeah.
You know, the same thing happened to Harambe.
Pull him up. I don't know him either.
John Lennon, he was same thing happened to Harambe as happened to John Lennon.
Yeah.
I mean,
same thing.
Same exact thing, actually.
Yeah.
And I think clearly they contributed very similar amounts to society.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the rest, Rob? Let's throw it on. Let's end this classic.
That's wrong. In a zoo, we love you. Harambe. That's wrong. In a zoo, we love you.
So there it is. The legacy of Harambe will never die thanks to Elon Musk. And the classic song, R.I.P. Harambe. That's what Elon Musk is doing in his spare time. Dropping dope tracks. Incredible. Incredible. Travis, do you think that was a suitable memorial to Harambe?
I think after the fact, yeah. I mean, what I mean is like, you know, it's been what, 2-3 years?
It's been about 3.
You thought it had been done.
I thought it was really done.
Everything had been done.
Yep. We talked about Harambe a whole bunch. I think, weren't we going to name the show Morning Harambe when we first started?
Yeah, with Jim and Sam.
Right, that was almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, Morning MOU.
Right, Morning Harambe. Yeah. Right. But then we said,
with,
right. But then we said to ourselves, long term, nobody's going to be talking about this in 3 years, so this is probably a bad idea.
You were wrong.
Very, very wrong. We could have had our theme song. Elon Musk could have done the theme song to our radio show, Morning Harambe.
Who looks stupid
It came together.
Yeah, we look really stupid,
now.
to tell you the truth. Me and Jim Norton and myself, we look really dumb. So you're back on the road now that the special is out and everything?
Yeah, I'm going to Cincinnati sometime to see the grave of Harambe.
That's good. That's good.
Do they have his grave? Is his grave out?
I think there's you can set up a memorial at the zoo.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, because he was shot in the gorilla cage.
Oh, yeah, so you just go to where he's...
So, yeah, you would just go to the Cincinnati Zoo, and there you go. There's the Harambe Memorial.
Oh, they have a statue.
It's really important. It's really important to... they say never forget. And they're almost always talking about Harambe when they say that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that. But
that's
when
what it is.
Like when you see bumper stickers that say never forget or banners or whatever.
They've already forgot what it was originally for because that was too long ago.
Were they doing stuff before Harambe with never forget? I had forgotten.
Yeah, I had forgotten. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Like they don't even know.
Well, here's what happens a lot of times. The tragedy of Harambe kind of outweighed all tragedies before.
Yeah.
So... you end up everything that happened before Harambe that was sad doesn't seem so sad.
It's like BC.
Exactly. Except BH.
BH.
Yeah, before Harambe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do things when you're on the road? Would you take a trip to the Cincinnati Zoo?
Yeah.
Do you do things to maintain your sanity?
A zoo would be. I've been to a few zoos. I don't think I've been to Cincinnati Zoo. I might have been. They all blend together.
You don't feel bad for the animals being locked up in cages and then sometimes getting shot?
No, I prefer it. They go. I think they should all. That's how they get rid of all the animals at the zoo. It's
you just start throwing kids into animal cages.
You
just
guys
hoping
gotta shoot it.
You're gonna have to shoot. The kid's not even near the animal. You're gonna have to shoot the animal.
Just shoot it.
Yeah,
I'd like to see it, please. I love a zoo. Like, I don't know. Like, people get mad and stuff, but
you like to see the animals.
It's nice to see the animals.
You like that?
They're fun to see.
Because you'll see them in books, on the internet, but never in person.
How many times do you see a lion?
Only as often as you go to the zoo, really.
I've seen a lion quite a few, to be honest. It's more than I care for. I don't even go to the lion section anymore.
You don't?
I've just seen too many of them. It's
old hat at this point.
It's old. St. Louis Zoo is one of the more famous ones.
Is that right?
It's they got a great zoo. The San Diego obviously is a huge zoo. I see. And it's cool.
I didn't know.
You don't like zoos?
No, I don't care about zoos, not even a little bit. I think they're boring. I think they're stupid. But, I'm a speciesist. I'm big on humans.
They should, all right.
And I think that, seeing species that are lower than, I'm like, what am I wasting my time with them for? Did they come up
better than you have like a class? Like it's
we're definitely better as a species than other animals.
But I like that you're like, I'm not going. It's like you drive into a bad neighborhood. That's how you look at a zoo. Like, you just go like,
I'm not going to go hang out with.
No, I'm good. I'm going to a restaurant to eat.
Right. Oh,
with the fork.
And you know what we might have? A roof over our heads. Any of you guys figure that out?
Else?
Anyone?
Yeah.
Anyone?
You clutch your purse tighter when you walk by a zoo. You just look at it and you're like, oh, this is a rough neighborhood over here.
Yeah, that's what they go. They go, well, these animals can fly. Isn't that incredible? Yeah, well, figure out a simple tool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree with that. I get that.
Yeah, so that's
they're not. We're doing so good. That's why I always think they get mad with animals and stuff. But you are like, animals just kill each other, right? Like they're just like, So we're doing what an animal would do. We're just really good at it.
Much better at it.
It's unbelievable.
Right. We use tools for it.
Yeah.
Not our hand. We don't. Yeah. Animals are sitting there like
they can't even put that together.
No, they're ripping each other's testicles off their bodies.
It's unbelievable.
Can you imagine if humans were doing that?
I mean, some probably do, but we don't hear about it.
No,
we're doing so much farther stuff than that.
Exactly. I go to the zoo and I see the gorillas or whoever it is, and they're doing sign language with each other. And they go, "Isn't that incredible? They're communicating." I hold up my iPhone. I'm like, "Yeah, you know how many levels past this we are?"
Yeah, and they don't even really probably get it because that's how dumb they are.
They're so stupid. They think it's a banana.
Do they know what our smartest people are doing? Rip Harambe. That song.
That's true. And then you go,
that comes
what's
out?
The smartest genius person doing?
Oh, I'll show you.
He's got this song about Harambe. I don't know if you've heard it. Although, we have created a lot of distractions for ourselves. Do you go to movies when you're on the road?
Yeah, not as much. Do a zoo, more zoos than I do go to movies though. That's a big, go just sit by yourself and
that's
go by yourself.
I like that.
I love it.
I like that. When I go on the road to do WWE stuff or whatever, and I know that there's a weekend, there's a night beforehand, and nobody's in town yet anyway, and I'm like, this is great. I'll go to this. Sometimes you go to great movie theaters. Sometimes you go to shitty movie theaters.
Mm-hmm.
They're all fantastic.
Do you ever go in there when no one's in there, and then you see some people walk in, maybe one or two people? I've been in a theater with like 3 people, and like they sit next to each other, like they're come sit next to you. Like, like where the whole deal is like, we're supposed to spread out and like
we have the whole room to ourselves.
Yeah. So that's all really spread out. I think people want to gravitate towards other people. I watch it like all the time. Like something I watch when people go out to watch them. You go at a restaurant, like you see, you could have an empty restaurant and have someone sitting in the middle, and I think most people would go sit next to those people without even thinking.
I think you're right, and it's nuts. I mean, when I see that I can create a lot of space between me and another person, it feels so luxurious.
Yeah.
It's like Elaine on that episode of Seinfeld, figuring out that she can just weave in and out of the lanes.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is nice.
This is luxurious. Yeah. I mean, so when there's like 3 of you in a movie theater, do you get up and leave and go to another seat?
I would get up. Yeah, I've got up like if they get like too close, like where you're, and you just give, I don't say anything, but you definitely give the energy of like, I don't approve of what just happened.
Right.
And then I go sit. I mean, if you go sit in the middle, then people are going to go to the middle. But I mean, I've had people sit right behind you. Like, I don't know. They just.
How weird would it be if you moved to another seat because you didn't approve it and they followed you and they sat next to you again?
Yeah, I think you'd have to talk about it.
Yeah,
I think at that point you have to go like, hey, so what's happening, you think, right here?
Yeah. You should at least get a whole row to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine. Yeah, I think, but they come sit right behind you. I don't know what's worse, like sitting right behind you or even in the same row. That feels even weird. Even if there's 20 seats in between you,
right,
and there's no one, and they sit in the same row, you would. I think,
and then you're looking at all these empty rows, and you're going like, why?
You're like, why would you even do this, dude?
That?
Like, just go sit somewhere else, man.
Yeah,
like it's not that big of a deal, and it is to that guy.
You know what's hypothetically really embarrassing in that situation? When you go to a movie theater. And you get there and you sit down and you spill your popcorn. And then, this is hypothetical. And then you're going, okay, well, nobody noticed because, it's an empty theater. It's like it's like noon, say.
Yeah.
And so there's just a pile of popcorn next to you and you're the only person in that row. And then somebody comes and sits in the row.
Yeah.
Because not only are they sitting in your row, but they realize that you're a complete idiot who can't handle your own popcorn. Yeah. Hypothetical. I'm not saying that happened exactly to me twice.
He's like, they don't clean these theaters, I guess.
I don't know what
happened. It's already in the...
Because clearly...
not came in.
I picked the seat. The only seat in the theater that's next to the pile of garbage, that's the one I picked.
That
was here already.
Yeah, you don't even know who do you want to... that's a tough... Like, if you either lie, like, do you want to be that guy that just sits in other people's garbage?
Yeah.
Or you spilled that popcorn.
Right. I just try to avoid eye contact and just hopefully they'll move on.
And just like,
I don't know. I don't even see it. I don't know. I don't know.
There must have been a 10 o'clock show.
Yeah.
Maybe it's still set in it.
Who spilled that popcorn? I don't know. What's popcorn? I don't know.
I don't know what's going on, man.
Don't know what you're talking about. A lot of people were really upset at I didn't even realize we were at a place where movie tickets were being treated like concert tickets, or big sports tickets. Mm-hmm. Where there's a huge sort of nationwide demand for them. I didn't realize this was happening until I saw Travis in there, the movie cuck, going through his phone. He's the biggest movie apologist you'll ever meet.
What are you talking
Going through, I mean, he's over, it was a little slow moving, but you have to appreciate a story.
I saw a movie last week I didn't like.
Oh, okay. What did you think? What movie was it?
Dumbo.
What'd you think of Dumbo?
Terrible.
Why?
The story made no sense. Nothing anybody did in that movie made any sense.
What was good about it?
Dumbo.
It was, it's a good character.
I mean, the character was it's good CGI. It's not a real elephant.
What?
Whoa.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Nate.
Yeah, I love that too. That Disney is like, we're going to do all live action movies. No more animated movies. We'll CGI in the characters. It's animated. Like, what are you talking about? Just show the cartoon.
Yeah.
But the new Avengers tickets, I guess, went on sale yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a Marvel Comics movie guy. I don't care. I think they're all the same.
Yeah.
I kind of no, I never understand when people are like, "Hey, no spoilers." Like, what, the Avengers are going to win. What do you mean no spoilers?
Yeah.
We already know.
You don't know.
It's the third in the trilogy. They're definitely they didn't win the last one. They're going to win this one.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's possible. We don't.
All right, you got me there.
We don't know the answers. But Travis was one of the people who was all locked in because apparently demand for this was so high. What time did they go on sale yesterday? 8 a.m.?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. They go on sale, which disgusted me because we're on the air at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
You guys were busy. Rob and Hot Dog were debating.
And in Travis's story that he was telling me off the air about like how complicated it was to get these movie tickets, he was like, yeah, I got on and I tried at 8 a.m. and blah, blah, blah. And all I can think about is you son of a bitch. We're doing a show. You're the producer of the show. What do you mean you're looking for movie tickets?
Did you know I was trying to get movie tickets?
No, and that says
then I do a great job.
He could feel it. I feel like something's off right now. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's that Al Gore energy, except the opposite.
Just the opposite of going. Someone feels like they're trying to buy something off right now.
Yeah. So you got on the internet at 8 a.m. to try to get the movie tickets?
Yep.
And unsuccessful. So what happened? The whole system shut down because everybody wanted them?
I think it was mainly AMC's system.
Oh.
Because they have so many theaters now. I mean, it's what? AMC, Regal, Alamo.
Alamo's got like...
Right, I know. I mean,
but in terms of big
Cinemark,
chains...
I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so AMC's system went just completely shit the bed.
Oh my God. So
I didn't even know you could so you're buying them for a different day?
Oh yeah, this doesn't come out until the 25th.
Oh, like that early?
Yeah.
I never knew. Is that new to do that?
It's not new, but it's big.
Yeah.
It's not
pre-buy.
It's not new, but who would ever do that?
Yeah,
I'm going to a movie in a month.
But it's great because you get reserved seating.
That's the thing now. Like every movie now is reserved seating.
Yeah,
so
right.
I did. We went. Me and my daughter went to something or Grinch, whatever, and it was in a reserved seating place, and they said it was like sold out, and so we couldn't buy a ticket. And I went and asked the guy, and he's like, they had like 2 seats that were not near each other, and my daughter's 6, and I was like, whatever, like I'll just take those seats, and she can just sit in my lap. And then I go in there, nobody's in there, and because if it's like reserved, like where the dining, they don't want to sell. Like they only had like 5 people in there, like an empty, and they don't want to sell those tickets because I guess they have a waiter, and so
it'll cost. They figure out, okay, if there's only 10 people in this movie theater, it's actually costing us money because we have to pay for the waiter.
Yeah.
So instead, let's just act like it's sold out.
And they
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we almost weren't able to go, and then to go in there and just be like, there's nobody in there.
This is a scam.
Yeah. You're like, just let us in. Like, I don't need to serve it. Like, waiting. I didn't come here to eat. Like, well, I brought my family for this dinner tonight at the movie theater.
Unplug the deep fryer if you need to. Like,
yeah. How are we supposed to eat dinner? I don't know. That's why I came here. To have a full meal.
I want dinner in the dark. Like, where else can I get
appetizers? I want the whole thing.
Right. Do you have? I know we're not supposed to talk during the movie. Do you have a dessert menu?
Do you have real fast?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Why wouldn't they just say, "Hey, we're not going to do full dining service"?
Yeah,
I probably would have been okay with it.
Yeah, no, I was just going to buy candy. Like,
you still got popcorn?
Still got. Okay. Yeah, still got popcorn. Like you just brought it in yourself.
Yeah,
like I don't the old way.
I don't mind reserved seating. I like.
I love it. I love knowing that you can show up 5 minutes before the movie starts and your seat's right in the middle.
The old way is like Southwest, where you're just a bunch of animals fighting to get on.
That's the thing,
yeah.
I like that Regal. It still is like a traditional movie theater, except it's got like recliner seats in it.
Yeah,
they don't go too overboard. Some of these movie theaters like try to add way too much to the point where you don't even remember there's a movie playing.
Yeah,
they turn into like a nightclub or something. But I like that, but I do not like. Even when my wife goes, hey, my mom's going to babysit for us so we can go to a movie if you want in 3 weeks. I go, Jess, like, I haven't given up on life. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that we can make plans to go to the movies in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
If we're going to go to a movie, it's kind of a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah,
like, we can't sit there and say,
let's mark it. Well, let's look at the date. All right, we got the week down. Let's look at the day.
Yeah. Which day would be a good movie day 3 weeks from now? Like, I'm not doing, I can't get there. I'm not doing it. So I'm not a buy tickets in advance, but I'm probably also not going to go see the Avengers on opening weekend. Travis, this is kind of what you have to do nowadays, right?
Yeah, I like going there Thursday night 6 o'clock, first showing.
Are you going to cosplay as like the
Nope.
Phoenix?
Nope.
Just
As a
Travis.
female character.
Yeah. Travis showing up as the Phoenix.
She's not even in the movie.
I was Jean Grey for the last Avengers movie. Now I'm the Phoenix. That would be awesome. To just have some, why are you dressed as a character who's not in this movie? What? I thought the Phoenix was
Doesn't know.
yeah. I thought the Phoenix was in this one. Don't spoil this.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know. Then the whole theater's waiting for Phoenix to come. It's a whole.
I don't know.
Well,
Do you think maybe?
My uncle did some stuff on the movie, so
Phoenix. But so you won't cosplay, Travis?
No.
Did you get the
Maybe
ticket?
now, but
You should. Did you Harley Quinn? Did you sexy Harley Quinn?
just to piss everybody off.
Yeah. Bring your bat and
He
everything.
doesn't even know that's not a Marvel character.
Ugh. What a noob.
Nerd.
I've been to one movie. I went to a movie when it first came out, and I remember they did the guy that wrote Sixth Sense and like all the
Glass.
M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan. So they showed, it was so funny, like, because it's like, if you're at the opening night, like, these are movie fans, and they're showing, like, a preview of a movie that was coming out, and everybody's like, this was a couple years ago, everybody's like, oh, like, the preview's awesome, and then it shows M. Night Shyamalan at the very end of it, and I mean, the whole theater's like, ah. They just all get mad. And, like, it was just so funny to hear, like, real movie people, like, that know it. They're just like, oh, God. Like, because the preview looked so good.
Oh, I think this is going to be good. Oh, no way. There's no way possible. That sucks.
I never know.
Sucks for him.
Yeah. I always think they should do, has anybody, like, if they have a bathroom in the movie theater?
Like, as opposed to going out in the hallway inside the
Why
theater.
is that not like, just have a, like you go to a sports bar, they can have like a screen, like have it inside the movie theater.
Probably they don't want to hear toilets flushing while the movie's
true.
on.
If any time's the time to do it, it's now. Because this Avengers movie's 3 hours long.
That's
crazy. My God. 3 hours of just watching the superheroes beat the bad
It's going to
guys.
be great. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Have
You
ever been
know that 2 hours and 10 minutes will be the final fight scene, right? Like, it'll be 50 minutes of like, oh, how are we going to get our superheroes back? They turned to dust. And then the last 2 hours and 10 minutes is, it's time for the battle. And then here we go.
And then we're in it.
Right.
Have you ever been to a movie where they have a break, an intermission?
Yeah, well, the last time that they actually did that was like Tarantino did that when he did Grindhouse.
Yeah.
Where they did like the Death Proof and the blah, blah, blah.
But he did it for Hateful Eight.
Yes, he did do it for
there was a
Hateful Eight.
built-in intermission.
Yes, there was. Because that's what they used to do back in the day. I mean, he didn't need it.
Yeah.
But they used to do that back in the day. Now everybody got such short attention spans.
Yeah.
They're like, well, they're going to leave anyway. We don't need to put it in an intermission. Nobody's going to wait for it.
Yeah. I think people would come back. Like they.
No, meaning that like if they're going to go piss, they're just going to go piss while the movie's on.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're not going to. They'll wait through the intermission.
Yeah.
But they're not going to wait for the intermission to go do their other stuff. They're just going to do their other stuff regardless.
Yeah.
So did the ticketing system come back online when?
Like 6 hours later.
Oh my God! What happened?
Fandango was down. AMC was down. Like just everything. You could get a Regal ticket, no problem.
Why didn't you just do that?
Because I got A-list. I'm not spending money. I already spent.
Is
the
that like
money.
Movie Pass?
Yeah, but better.
Oh.
This is the one where you can actually see movies.
Oh, that actually
Instead of Movie Pass, where they're like, sorry, not this week.
You can get the first, even like the opening.
AMC's A-list covers everything. IMAX, Dolby Cinema, opening night shit. Like, yeah, it's great.
How much is it?
$23 a month.
Okay,
so you see like one movie, you're good.
One. You have to go to two and you're good.
Well, yeah, if you go to two, you're good. If you go to one, you've paid for it.
What? No, you're not paying. Not if you're just going to a regular movie. You'd have to go to an IMAX with all the
regular movie.
Yeah.
What is that?
I went to see regular movie. You don't need to see all these IMAX 3D nonsense.
Dancing with Wolves.
Dancing with Wolves is great. It's tremendous.
I saw Field of Dreams in IMAX.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Exactly. Dancing with Wolves, and you probably didn't even know everything that the Native Americans had to go through.
Yeah. No.
Not before that. No. Yeah, it was tough, man. It was really, really tough.
They didn't have it as easy as people say.
So yeah, you can see 3 movies a week.
But most of the movies you go to now are IMAX.
It
really is. They're like, here's the upgrade. Now it's going to cost you more money. It doesn't cost us more. It's just like it's not like it costs more to operate.
Same
this.
movie.
Yeah, same thing.
Yep.
But it's a little crisper. That's what they'll say. No, this is crisper now.
It's nice. You see it, right?
Yeah, you see it. I think.
I get. Yeah,
no,
I think
see
so.
it. The picture looks a little crisper to me.
Now you say it. Yeah.
It looks a little crisper. Yeah. What about the sound? Oh, it's a little. There's a little more I think at the base. I think there's a little
it,
more.
comes in a little bit.
Yeah,
it comes in. Sometimes they're so loud. I've been there where you feel like it's too loud.
Yeah,
and you want to just you can't go tell.
Or you went to the wrong movie when you're going to see Dances with Wolves again.
Yeah,
and you hear the explosions coming from the theater next door. That's the one I should have gone to.
Yeah, what is that one?
But you got your tickets, Travis.
Got my tickets.
You're going opening night
Thursday night.
Oh, that's so exciting!
6 o'clock.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh man, I hope it doesn't
wait.
disappoint you.
I don't want to be spoiled, so I got to see it then.
Well, it's the same. What you think is going to happen is what's going to happen. No,
you don't know. You don't know who's going to die.
Oh,
yeah.
Did you, Rob, also get tickets for opening night?
Correct.
Oh, okay, good.
Good for you, Rob.
Are you guys going to go together?
God, no.
No.
But maybe later.
Yeah, we'll probably go see it in IMAX.
Second showing.
Maybe a second showing.
I'll probably wait till it's available for download or maybe on cable on demand.
Why you got to do that? Just
come on, man.
Just have fun with your life.
Yeah.
Just go see it.
Yeah, just go.
I don't think I saw the last one. I saw the first one.
Oh,
I'm like every other. I do like every other one. I'm like, I'll go see. Like if you think you should go see it in a big.
Here's when you know, like when you can just go see 2 or 3 of them. And you get the gist anyway.
Yeah.
Like there's like the one Avengers movie. This is the culmination of all the superhero movies, and I've seen 2 of them, and I watch it and I go like, yeah, I get it.
It's still a good time though. I mean, somebody that watches wrestling 3-4 times a week can't can't back that up. Like
that is a really
like,
funny
I can't
thing.
I can't watch comic book movies. I kind of feel like I've seen it already.
Anyway, WWE's got a big thing that night, so.
But I mean, you just watch rotating storylines over and over and over again.
A lot of them very, very different.
Really, Kurt Angle with the milk and Stone Cold with the beer, same goddamn thing.
Okay, Mr. Reference from 1999.
But it's the same thing.
Yeah, but there's no more trucks. When was the last time somebody did that?
All right, good point.
So you had to see it. We didn't do it 12 times, over the course of 12 years.
Okay.
Right?
Well, don't I look stupid?
Yeah. And also, I didn't pay $30 to see it in IMAX. It's only $9.99 a month. It's a steal at any price, quite frankly. Speaking of seeing things in the comfort of your own home, you can see The Tennessee Kid right now. It's on Netflix. Everybody's got Netflix. So watch The Tennessee Kid. It's Nate Bargatze's new special. I'm glad you popped by, man.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you, man.
It's good
Always
seeing
great
you.
to see you.
Jim was here, but he went home sick.
No, yeah.
He thought he was going to throw up.
Oh.
And so he didn't want to do it in front of us, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, he could have,
That's what I told him.
Just let it happen as it happens.
There's a garbage can right there. We all would have been entertained by it, but
it'd been fun.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Next time you're around, stop by again.
Absolutely.
For sure.
I appreciate it.
We'll see all the rest of you tomorrow, okay? Goodbye, everybody.